Chapter 123. After Lin Rei left, Shui Wushuang, who was sitting on the bed, returned to her previous cold face. She looked outside the door, then stood up and slowly walked out. Jia, the door opened. The eyes of the elders and disciples who had been waiting outside were all focused on the door. Jia, the door opened, and Shui Wushuang walked out of the room. Seeing the worried faces of the people at the door, her originally cold face revealed a smile. Well, don't wait anymore. Go do what you have to do. I've made everyone worry these days. Looking at the crowd, Shui Wushuang bowed 90 degrees to them. Suddenly, the crowd seemed to be flattered and hurriedly followed Shui Wushuang. Sect leader, you must not say that. You're the sect leader. If you don't wake up, what should we do? All right, all the elders stay. The rest of the disciples can go back to work as usual. After saying that, Shui Wushuang returned to her room and waited for the arrival of the elders. After a while, under the lead of the great elder, a group of elders came in front of Shui Wushuang. Greetings, sect leader. Well, get up. Seeing the elders bow, Shui Wushuang hurriedly asked them to get up. I called you here today to tell you two things. The first is that from today onwards, I announce that I will join the Xuanzong sect and will never betray it. The second is that from now on, the Snow Sect will no longer exist in the Tianxin continent. The Snow Sect will be disbanded. Boom! After hearing Shui Wushuang's words, the elders who were originally happy instantly froze in place. Everyone's eyes were incomparably rich. Sect leader, you're not joking, right? It has been many years since the establishment of the Snow Sect. You can't just destroy the efforts of our ancestors like this. The great elder was the first to come back to her senses. She reacted quickly and quickly stopped her. She could not just watch her ancestors give away the empire that was handed down by others. Moreover, she had to join a Xuanzong sect that she had never heard of. Yes, sect leader, if you have made any other decision, we will support you. However, please forgive us for not agreeing to disband the sect. Immediately, all the elders present objected after hearing Shui Wushuang's decision. None of them were willing to let a sect that they had never heard of take over the country that their ancestors had fought for. Sigh, I know you guys aren't willing, but I'm doing this for the future development of the sect. Think about it. The Xuanzong sect is only a second-rate sect now. Who in the central continent would pay attention to the Xuanzong sect? If you can join the Xuanzong sect, your future achievements will not be underestimated. Trust me, I will not harm you. Shui Wushuang wore a helpless expression when she saw the elders trying to stop her. However, she still followed Lin Rei's instructions and tried her best to persuade them. No, we don't agree. That's right, we don't agree. Why do you have to make the decision and disband us just like that? At this moment, Shui Wushuang really had no other choice. However, due to Lin Rei's orders, Shui Wushuang was in a dilemma. A bunch of ignorant fools. I asked Shui Wushuang to persuade you guys because I think highly of you. How dare you make excuses here? You guys really don't know what's good for you. In an instant, when the elders united to oppose Shui Wushuang, Lin Rei, who had been watching this scene, finally couldn't help but stand up and look at them with displeasure. What? It's you. Looking at the person who appeared, the elders finally understood why Shui Wushuang brought up this matter the moment she woke up. Speak. What did you do to our sect master? Why is our sect master acting like this? Don't you guys know what I did? Didn't you guys invite me to refine pills for your sect master? Why are you guys questioning me now? Seeing everyone's doubts, Lin Rei said to them with disdain. You. All right, let's cut the crap. I'll give you guys two choices. I have 7 pills here. First, each of you take one, and this matter will be resolved. Second, this is the last thing I want to talk about. Speaking until here, Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of reluctance. After hearing Lin Rei's words, everyone's face turned serious. The second choice? What's the second choice? The second choice is that you guys can choose not to take the pills. But in that case, let's settle the matter of your sect master dragging me up the mountain. Speaking until here, Lin Rei exuded a strong, murderous aura. At the same time, the aura of a tribulation stage cultivator was about to crush everyone. You. As a senior, you actually did such a shameless thing. If the world knows about this, aren't you afraid of being laughed at? Hearing the great elder's words, Lin Ray laughed and said, World? Ha ha ha, world, you really know how to joke. This is how the world works. The weak are prey to the strong. Who do you think would care about this? So, I advise you to obediently take the pills. In the future, I might be able to guarantee that you guys can enter the immortal realm. But if you guys don't know what's good for you, then what? You can really guarantee that we can enter the immortal realm? Before Lin Ray could finish his words, the great elder's urgent voice sounded. Lin Ray didn't expect this at all. That's right. I can indeed let you guys enter the immortal realm. I think you guys also know that the outside of the profound sky continent is sealed by someone. The only way now is to join me. Only I, and only I, can let you guys out of the profound sky continent and go to other places for cultivation. Lin Ray didn't lie. There was no need for that, because it was necessary for them to leave the profound sky continent. As long as they left this sealed planet, Lin Ray could guarantee their future. Okay, I'll take it. After receiving Linley's assurance, the first elder hurriedly walked over, grabbed the pill, and put it into her mouth. The other elders, who hadn't seen the first elder for a long time, also followed suit and swallowed the pill. Ha, you guys are very good. Since you guys are so straightforward, I won't lie to you. As long as you join the Xuanzong Sect, you will be a part of the Xuanzong Sect. In the future, it will be a must for you to enter the higher planes. But first, I want to make it clear that I am Lin Ray, the sect leader of the Nine Heavens Xuanzong Sect. Do you know my cultivation level? Peak of the next stage of tribulation passing stage? 16.5 years old. Boom! This news made all the elders present unable to accept it. What kind of concept was 16.5 years old? You really, that's right. So it's not wrong for you guys to join me. At this point, Lin Ray saw that everyone was serious. There was no longer any doubt in their eyes. Lin Ray felt relieved. At this time, the mind control pill also took effect. Greetings, Master. Shui Wushuang and some others who had taken mind control pills had the same reaction. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray repeated again. In the future, don't call me Master. Call me Young Master, okay? Yes, Young Master. We will follow your orders. After hearing Lin Ray's order, everyone hurriedly said respectfully, Well, you're all pillars of my Xuanzong Sect. The future of the Xuanzong Sect depends on you. So in the future, you have to work harder to cultivate. In the Xuanzong Sect, there is a sect that specializes in alchemy, and there are people who specialize in setting up businesses outside. Therefore, joining the Xuanzong Sect is a win-win situation. From now on, you don't have to worry about pills and spirit stones. The most important thing is that after you join the Xuanzong Sect, you will be involved in the information department. When you reach the Xuanzong Sect's headquarters, there will be people who will explain the information department to you. Yes, we will follow Young Master's orders. Well, not bad, but the most important thing now is to get rid of all the spies planted in the sect. As for the disciples, you will go to the Xuanzong Sect's headquarters. Well, on the way, you can pick up some disciples, but they must be beggars or orphans. I don't want you to make up the numbers. You must ensure that the disciples have the talent. This is a jade pendant that can be used to test spiritual roots and aptitudes. Seeing that all the elders had agreed in unison, Lin Ray hurriedly gave them instructions. At the same time, he took out a jade pendant that could test aptitudes and gave it to the first elder, telling him to use it when he went to the Xuanzong Sect to recruit disciples. Yes, I will go and get rid of all the spies in the sect now. With that, an elder hurriedly accepted the order and left. Amen. After this matter is over, head to the Western Region's Royal Pill City. There's a shop called the Nine Heavens Trading Company. Go there and look for a person called Dong Xiaonan. Tell him about what happened here. When the time comes, he will arrange for you to go to the Profound Sect's headquarters. After Lin Ray told everyone how to get to the Xuanzong Sect's headquarters, he looked at Shui Wushuang, who was sitting on the bed. Shui Wushuang, follow me to the Black Forest. I have another task for you. Yes, young master. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Shui Wushuang agreed unconditionally. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray smiled. He had unexpectedly obtained such a powerful helper. All right, go do what you need to do. When you're done, leave this place secretly. I will take Shui Wushuang first. Saying that, without waiting for the elder's response, he took Shui Wushuang and flew towards the Black Forest according to the map that he had bought in Valley City. The first elder led the elders to complete all the tasks that Lin Ray had given them, then left with the remaining disciples and all the belongings of the Snow Sect. Within a day, a second-rate sect had disappeared without a trace. Lin Ray also took Shui Wushuang and flew quickly towards the Black Forest. Along the way, Lin Ray kept giving Shui Wushuang high-grade pills that she could use now. After a few days, with Lin Ray's help, Shui Wushuang broke through to the peak of the Unity stage. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray's eyes revealed a gratified smile. Chapter 124. Not bad. I didn't expect you to improve so quickly. You were able to break through in just a few days. It's all thanks to you. Without you, it would have taken me a few years to break through. Hearing Linley's words, Shui Wushuang thanked Linley profusely, her face full of gratitude. Haha, you must be joking. If it wasn't for your natural talent, I believe that even if I took out something good, it wouldn't have been enough to cultivate you. However, for the time being, you should continue to cultivate. When we reach your destination, go to a hidden place and wait for me there. I'll come back to find you when I'm done. Yes, young master. Shui Wushuang quickly nodded and agreed to Lin Ray's order. Okay, go ahead and cultivate. After saying that, Lin Ray wrapped Shui Wushuang with his spiritual energy and continued on his way to the Black Forest. On the way, Lin Ray was very nervous. He couldn't help but want to fly to the Black Forest immediately when he thought that he could save the unconscious Hong Lian. What Lin Ray didn't know was that after he and the Snow Sect left, the news spread. Immediately, the entire central region of the Tianxian continent paid more attention to this matter, and the Kunlun sect was one of them. At this time, in the center of the central region of the Tianxian continent, this place was called the Immortal Promotion Plateau. There were many mysterious things here that the people of the Tianxian continent couldn't understand. However, more than a year ago, a sect suddenly appeared here and forcibly erected itself on the Immortal Promotion Plateau. This move caused many people in the central region to be dissatisfied. However, the sect that suddenly appeared sent people to deal with those who looked down on them. In the end, they went for wool and came home shorn, and all of them became subsidiaries of this newly established sect. This sect was called the Kunlun sect. At this time, in the main hall of the Kunlun sect, all of the higher-ups who founded the sect were present. The atmosphere was gloomy, as if something bad had happened. Tell me, the Snow Sect disappeared quietly within a day. What do you think? Seated at the head of the table was an old man. If Linley was here, he would definitely recognize him. This was the man who had injured him during the tribulation, Zhao Pan. But right now, Zhao Pan didn't look as smug as before. Right now, his face was haggard, as though he had suffered a terrible blow. Brother, I've already sent people to investigate the disappearance of the Snow Sect. According to the report of the people who went to the Snow Sect's base, there were people who were crossing the heavenly tribulation in the Snow Sect's base. I can feel that the person who crossed the heavenly tribulation is very strong, and the heavenly tribulation is also very strong. What? The Snow Sect is just a second-rate sect, yet someone is crossing tribulation. At this moment, an old man with a very special appearance stood up excitedly when he heard this person's report. He could not help but ask doubtfully. Yes, that's right. But I suspect that it's not someone from the Snow Sect who is going through the heavenly tribulation. Our people have already investigated the strength of the Snow Sect. In the Snow Sect, there is no one who is close to the heavenly tribulation stage, so I'm sure. But who could it be? Why would he cross the heavenly tribulation in the Snow Sect? Hearing this elder's words, everyone present was stunned. Yes, this matter must be investigated clearly. In extraordinary times, extraordinary things must be done. Whether it's the disappearance of the Snow Sect, or the person who crossed the heavenly tribulation in the snow sect. I must find them. Especially now that the Cloud Pagoda has appeared, we must keep a close eye on all the sects in the Tianxin continent. We must not allow any trouble to happen. Yes, brother. I will send the disciples out in a moment and let them find all the sects and empires in the Tianxin continent. After hearing Zhao Pan's words, the elder hurriedly volunteered to take over the task. Yes, not bad. As the great elder of the Kunlun sect, you are the first to find out when you encounter a problem. This is something I admire, but you still have important things to do. Leave this matter to the third elder. It just so happens that no one in the lower realm can do anything to him. We can use this opportunity to train him. Seeing the great elder volunteer, Zhao Pan was very gratified. However, in the end, he still refused and let the special-looking third elder handle the matter. After hearing this, a trace of displeasure appeared on the great elder's face. "Ha ha, brother is still the closest to me. You're truly my good brother. Don't worry, I'll definitely handle this matter beautifully." After he finished speaking, the special-looking third elder accepted the task and happily swaggered out. "Haha, this kid. He has only encountered such a small matter, and he is already so smug. I really can't do anything about him." Seeing the third elder's appearance, Zhao Pan, who was sitting in the main seat, immediately laughed. Only when the third elder's figure disappeared from his sight did Zhao Pan retract his gaze and fall on the great elder again. "Brother, don't be like this. You also know my temper. That's just how it is. However, I really do have something to ask of you." "Yes, I will do as you say." Hearing the first elder's words, Zhao Pan knew that the first elder's anger had yet to subside. Looking at the first elder, Zhao Pan smiled and said, "Junior brother, do you still remember the matter of me going to the Lei clan a few days ago?" I remember. What about it?" The great elder was baffled by Zhao Pan's words. "I heard from the Lei clan's patriarch that his son, Lei Dong, is a friend of the person who owns the Cloud Pagoda. Coincidentally, I was in the City of Heaven that day, and the person who owns the Cloud Pagoda also came to the Lei clan. Later, the Lei clan's patriarch reported to me that I brought 7 or 8 body integration cultivators. In the end, they were all killed by the person who owns the Cloud Pagoda. In the end, I had already captured him, but I don't know what secret technique that person used. He actually burned his essence blood and escaped in the end." "What?" The person who owns the Cloud Pagoda appeared. Hearing Zhao Pan's words, the great elder cried out in agitation. Afterwards, he realized that he had forgotten himself and hurriedly apologized. "I'm sorry, brother. I was too agitated just then, so Brother Xiong, we're the two of us doing. However, this matter is related to the mission Master gave us, so I don't feel at ease letting third brother go. You also know that he is the most playful. I'm afraid that sending him will ruin things, so I'm sorry, brother." Hearing Zhao Pan's words, the great elder who was called Brother Xiong's face instantly turned red from neck to head. He looked at Zhao Pan with an awkward smile. "I shouldn't have been jealous before. I was too narrow-minded. Don't worry, I will definitely atone for my mistakes and capture the person who owns the Cloud Pagoda." Brother Xiong's face revealed a resolute expression as he looked at Zhao Pan. "Ha, good. Then Brother Xiong, go. For this, I will send some capable assistants to follow you. If there is anything, just let them do it. Don't foolishly rush to the front, understand?" "And I understand. Thank you, Brother Xiong." Brother Xiong's heart warmed at Zhao Pan's words. "All right, then I'll take my leave first." After saying those words, the first elder addressed as Junior Brother Xiong left. When Zhao Pan saw that Junior Brother Xiong had left, the smile on his face instantly turned gloomy. "You're just a bunch of dogs under my command. How dare you try to snatch from me? When this matter is over, I will definitely make you all disappear from this world." After everyone left, Zhao Pan, who was sitting at the top, became completely different from the person he had been before. It was as if he had become a completely different person. His entire person, whether it was his influence, temperament, or even temperament, had become incomparably bloodthirsty, causing others to panic. Lin Ray was completely unaware that the Kunlun sect had sent people to hunt him down. At this moment, Lin Ray thought that he had already escaped from the Kunlun sect's pursuit. What he didn't know was that the Kunlun sect's pursuit had only just begun. After 10 days of flying without sleep and rest, Lin Ray finally arrived at the place of his dreams, the Black Forest. On the way back, Lin Ray recalled the events of the past 2 years and felt deeply moved, especially when he had just killed someone. At that time, he was just a soul that had just been sent over from a different dimension. Now, he had become a person who killed without batting an eyelid. If his freedom did not go his way, he would exterminate the entire family. Could it be that I'm going home soon? That's why I'm so emotional. At this moment, Lin Ray's face revealed a self-deprecating smile as he recalled his previous actions. Sigh, forget it. I should hurry up and break through to the heaven stage and save Hong Lian. As he spoke, Lin Ray came to Shui Wushuang's side and used his divine sense to wake her up. Shui Wushuang, quickly find a hidden place. I want to enter the Black Forest. Wait for me at that hidden place. When I come out, I will come back to find you. Yes. Without asking any questions, Shui Wushuang, who had just woken up, heard Lin Ray's arrangement and agreed without thinking. So, Shui Wushuang disappeared into the mountain range with a few jumps. Lin Ray's gaze fell on the Black Forest in front of him. Black Forest, I hope you won't disappoint me. Looking at the Black Forest in front of him, Lin Ray's eyes revealed a look of excitement. However, there was also a hint of fear in his eyes. He was afraid that the Black Forest would not give him the answer he wanted. Realm-breaking teleportation tunnel. You allowed me to enter the Cloud Pagoda. I hope you won't disappoint me. As he spoke, Linley didn't waste any words. He immediately took out the method he had used to enter the Cloud Pagoda. Although he wasn't certain that he would be able to use the Realm Breaker teleportation tunnel to enter the Black Forest, he had to at least try. So, Lin Ray directly placed the Realm Breaking teleportation tunnel at the edge of the Black Forest. Then he closed his eyes, closed his teeth, stomped his feet, and directly rushed into the tunnel. Shattered Worlds, teleportation gate, open. Chapter 125. As Lin Ray rushed into the tunnel, he started chanting the incantation to start the tunnel. In an instant, after Lin Ray finished chanting, the tunnel emitted a black light and Lin Ray disappeared into the tunnel. Phew, are we there yet? Are we there yet? At this time, Lin Ray came to a place with beautiful scenery. There were mountains, rivers, and forests. It was a paradise. The spiritual energy here was abundant, and there were precious elixirs that could not be found outside. Slowly, Lin Ray opened his eyes. After seeing the beautiful scenery in front of him, he was instantly dumbfounded. This is called the Black Forest? This is simply a paradise for immortals. Suddenly, Lin Ray saw this scene and could not help but scream. His eyes were filled with disbelief. I really don't know if the people of the Tianxian continent are sick in the head. It would be good to live in peace with the fairy clan, but they have to fight to the death. They have no place to use such good elixirs. TSK, what a pity. Simply looking at this holy land that was rich in elixirs, Lin Ray thought of the grievances between the fairy clan and the human clan that Bai Qi had told him. For a moment, he felt that the cultivators of the Tianxian continent were all sick in the head. Forget it. Their matters have nothing to do with an outsider like me. I'll look for the fairy clan. After saying that, Lin Ray walked into the depths of the Black Forest. Along the way, all the elixirs and herbs that Lin Ray saw entered Lin Ray's pocket. No matter if it was a 1,000-year-old Lingji, a 10,000-year-old ginseng, or a 10,000-year-old stargrass, there was everything. Even the extinct flaming iron was there. Immediately, Lin Ray sighed. As the saying goes, if you don't take advantage of an opportunity, you're a bastard. Seeing such good things, Lin Ray's legs stopped moving. Since I'm already here, and the elves can't run away, I might as well find some rare spiritual herbs, spiritual medicines, and spiritual treasures. When the time comes, I can let Wan Yu and the others try to refine pills. Seeing that there were so many treasures in the Black Forest, Lin Ray immediately through the matter of finding the elves to the back of his mind. His eyes were only focused on the spiritual herbs and spiritual herbs. As Lin Ray walked, he put the elixirs into his pocket. Soon, 4 or 5 storage rings were filled by Lin Ray. It seems that I'm going to be the one benefiting this time. With so many things, it should be enough for the Xuanzong Sect to use for a while. Looking at the storage ring in his hand that was filled with spiritual herbs, Linley smiled in satisfaction and then threw it into the system storage. Sha. Right at this moment, Linley heard the movement of an unknown object in the grass, not too far away. With a flash, he arrived at the scene. Who is it? Come out. The martial Emperor Divine spear instantly appeared in Lin Ray's hand. The murderous intent in his eyes leaked out unconsciously. Suddenly, the temperature within a radius of 1 square meter gradually dropped. Don't. Please don't. I'm just a passerby. I don't mean to disturb you. Please let me go. Well, don't worry. I won't tell anyone about you stealing the spiritual herbs. A young boy's voice came from the grass. After hearing the voice, Lin Ray's vigilance was slightly lowered. He also withdrew his murderous intent, and the surrounding temperature returned to normal. Boy, come out. I won't hurt you. Who knows if you humans are lying? My mother said that you can't believe the words of humans. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the little boy in the grass said to Lin Ray in disbelief, "Oh, we humans? Aren't you a human?" At this time, Lin Ray had the intention to play with the little boy. When Lin Ray found him, he knew that there was no one else who could appear here except for the elf tribe. Therefore, Lin Ray was sure that the little boy was from the elf tribe. I don't want to talk to you. You humans are lying to me. We elves won't talk to you. Ha. Didn't you say that you didn't want to talk? What's wrong now? You said it yourself. Listening to the little boy's words, Lin Ray liked him more and more, especially the way he spoke. Lin Ray hadn't been so happy in a long time. System, check all the information of the boy in the grass. Ding dong. Okay, host, please wait a moment. Looking at the little boy, Linley liked him very much, and he wanted to take him as his disciple. That way, he would be able to stand by his side and talk to him. Ding dong, check complete. Cullen, male, son of the elf tribe's current queen. 10 years old. Peak earth stage, spiritual power. Cultivation, none. Top quality spirit root. Extraordinary talent. Ding dong. You can accept him as your 5th disciple. Hearing the system's analysis, Lin Ray was immediately happy. After hearing the system's analysis, Lin Ray's desire to take him as his disciple grew even stronger. Good. Little guy, come out. I'll show you something good. I promise you've never seen it before, okay? At this moment, Linley was once again using the same tactic he had used to shamelessly distance himself from her. Really, you're not lying to me, right? My mother said that you humans are the best at lying. Cullen, who was hiding in the grass, was moved when he heard Lin Ray say that there was something good. However, because of his mother's advice, he restrained himself. It's true. I have a lot of fun things here. Think about it. I came in from the outside. There's everything outside. Lin Ray wasn't discouraged after his first failure. As the saying goes, failure is the mother of success. How could Lin Ray fart at this small setback? I've never lied to anyone. If I say there's good stuff, then there's good stuff. You could just come out and take a look. If it really doesn't catch your eye, then you could just go back in. That's right. After hearing Lin Ray's words, the 10-year-old Cullen felt that it made sense and walked out. Lin Ray also revealed a sly smile. Where is it? Didn't you say that you had something fun? When Cullen turned around, Lin Ray was stunned. Cullen's appearance was just too cute. He had a pair of ears that others didn't have, deep blue eyes that resembled sapphires, and a short stature. It was hard not to like him at first sight. Yo, you're a handsome little boy. Seeing the look on Cullen's face, Linley hurriedly began to shower him with praises. Instantly, Cullen was so embarrassed by Linley's shameless words that he didn't know what to say. You? Who are you? Why did you come to the territory of the elf race? And the fun things you said are there. Ugh. Upon hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray was speechless. He didn't expect this little prince of the elf race to be so playful. Here, these are all good things from the outside world. As he spoke, Linley took out all the weapons, robes, crowns, and other items he had obtained from completing missions and killing people in the past. Instantly, the sky was filled with a myriad of colors, causing Cullen to be unable to open his eyes. "These are the things that I'm giving you," Lin Ray said, and swung his sleeve to conceal the radiance on the artifacts. In an instant, the true appearance of the artifacts appeared before Cullen's eyes. Wow! Upon seeing the artifacts, Cullen couldn't take his eyes off them. His eyes were filled with the images of the artifacts. Are these all for me?" Cullen asked Lin Ray in disbelief. "That's right. These are all for you. Look at what you're wearing. It's so ugly, but I have a condition for giving you these things." Upon hearing the first half of Lin Ray's sentence, Cullen was elated. But after hearing the second half, he withered instantly. There are conditions. Yes, that's right. But the conditions are simple. As long as you acknowledge me as your master, I will give you even better things. Not only these, but you can also fly in the sky and earth, overturn rivers and seas, break the dome of heaven with one hand, and crush rocks with one foot. Ha ha ha! A burst of laughter interrupted Lin Ray's words. This scene made Lin Ray feel like a fool. "What are you laughing at? Did I say anything wrong? Don't tell me there aren't any elves who can crush rocks with one punch. Are you out of your mind? There aren't any such elves in the elves. Besides, I've never heard my father mention it." "What?" Lin Ray was taken aback. He didn't expect Cullen to respond in this way. "How is that possible? Don't tell me you elves don't cultivate immortality and seek longevity?" Lin Ray asked in disbelief. "I've never heard of it, but we elves cultivate mental powers. Our mental powers are only at the level that you mentioned." "That's not right. Logically speaking, you should be able to train in it." Hearing Cullen's words, Linley began to ponder. "That's not right. You can cultivate cultivation techniques?" Linley seemed to have thought of something, and he pulled out a technique he had prepared for his fifth disciple from his storage ring. He tossed it to Cullen and instructed him to use it. "Cullen, as long as you cultivate according to this, I can give you everything in front of you. What do you think?" All right. Hearing Linley's words, Curran didn't even hesitate to agree. "Give it to me." As he spoke, Cullen walked over to Linley's side and took the book. He sat down on the ground and began to practice according to the book's instructions. Instantly, the surrounding spiritual energy began to crazily rush towards Cullen, and Cullen's aura began to rapidly increase. First stage of body refinement, second stage of body refinement, ninth stage of body refinement, 15th stage of body refinement, first stage of body refinement, eighth stage of body refinement. Just like that, Linley watched as Cullen's aura slowly rose in power. A day passed just like that. Seeing that Cullen still hadn't woken up, Linley sat down by Cullen's side, protecting him. Boom! Early the next morning, Linley, who was in the middle of his training, was awoken by an earth-shaking sound. Chapter 126. Ha ha ha! A wild, uninhibited laughter rang out from up ahead. Linley sent out his divine sense to scan the area, and a gratified smile appeared on his face. Boom, boom, boom. The sound continued to echo. The originally happy mood was ruined by the loud noises just like that. All right, stop fooling around. I didn't ask you to cultivate for fun. It's to prove that you elves can cultivate. Of course, more importantly, I want you to be my disciple. Lin Ray looked at the boy in front of him who was madly venting his excitement after cultivating spiritual energy. He hurriedly told him that he wanted to take him as his disciple. Why do you want to take me as your disciple? Lin Ray was completely speechless. Lin Ray thought that this child was naive, but he didn't think that Cullen would be so naive. Look, did you cultivate the thing I gave you and become so powerful? Right. Hearing Linley's words, Cullen nodded his head in agreement. Then do you want your entire clan to have such a thing, such power? Yes. Cullen nodded again with a yearning look on his face. Then do you want to be even more powerful than you are now? Do you want to leave this land and go to a wider place to play? Yes. Cullen's eyes were filled with yearning when he heard Lin Ray say that he could go to the outside world. It was as if he had been looking forward to this for a long time. Isn't that enough? As long as you acknowledge me as your master, I can guarantee that you will be able to leave this place. I can also guarantee that I will bring you to many places and see many things. In fact, I will even give you whatever you want outside. Seeing Cullen nod repeatedly, Linley chuckled. In his heart, he had already decided that he was going to take Cullen as his disciple. Yes, I am willing to take you as my master, but you have to promise me that you will give me the cultivation method of the elven race. Also, you have to take me to see the vast lands outside. But most importantly, you have to convince my mother. She has been very fond of me since I was a child. I'm afraid that if she knows that I want to leave, she won't agree. Huh? Hearing Cullen say that he knew how to do it as well, Linley laughed. He laughed very happily, and in his heart, he was incomparably excited. The feelings of homesickness, which he had been hiding for so long, were now completely aroused. Good. Since you said that you want to take me as your master, then hurry up and kowtow to me. From now on, you're my Lin Ray's disciple. You are my Lin Ray's disciple in seclusion. Yes, disciple Cullen, the next king of the elves, swears to the heavens that from now on, I will take Lin Ray as my master. I will honor, respect, and love you for the rest of my life. I will treat you as my own father and do whatever you say. If I lie, I will enter the 9 underworld sea and be torn apart by corpse puppets, never to be reincarnated. After Cullen finished speaking, thunder rumbled in the sky as if he had received Tendo's approval. Good, good. From now on, you are my Lin Ray's 5th disciple. I will nurture you diligently and make you a powerhouse in the profound sky continent. No matter where you go, you will be worshipped by the people of the world. After hearing Cullen's oath, Lin Ray, who was already very fond of Cullen, couldn't help but like him even more. Amen. Thank you, Master. Amen. Hurry up and drip your blood on those clothes and weapons. They will become a layer of defense for you in battle. At the same time, you can also change your clothes. As my Lin Ray's disciple, how can you wear such clothes? When he saw Cullen's tattered clothes, he couldn't stand it any longer and told Cullen to wear the clothes he had given him before. Oh, hearing his master's words, Cullen hurriedly followed Linley's instructions. He cut open a small wound on his hand, and one drop of blood after another fell onto the magic treasures on the ground. Instantly, as soon as the blood touched the magic treasures, a brilliant light flashed. With a whoosh, the magic treasures on the ground disappeared. When they reappeared, they were already on Cullen's body. At this time, Cullen was no longer the same. His tattered clothes had now become a rich young master wearing luxurious clothes, especially the equipment on his body. Good. You're not my disciple. As the saying goes, clothes make the man. After wearing these magic treasures, your aura as the Elven Queen's sun truly shines. Not bad. Seeing Cullen's current appearance, Lin Ray's eyes felt much better. However, the person involved didn't think so. Master, so these things are all clothes. I thought they were something fun. Seeing that Lin Ray hadn't given him anything fun but clothes, Cullen's face revealed a trace of displeasure. Ha. Indeed, you are different. You should know that these magical treasures of mine are all top-notch existences within the magical treasures. Even if I were to casually take one out, it would cause an uproar within the profound skyland. However, why is it that when it comes to you, it becomes clothes? No, it's just Lin Ray couldn't help but surrender after listening to Cullen's long string of buts. All right. Don't butts. You just want something fun, right? Saying that, Lin Ray took out some supreme-grade spirit stones from his storage ring and handed them to Cullen. He smiled and said, "Here, look at these things. They're so pretty. Not only can you play with them, but you can also buy a lot of things outside." Hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen, who had lowered his head in disappointment, raised his head and kowtowed. When he saw the supreme-grade spirit stones in Lin Ray's hand, his disappointment was swept away. He quickly grabbed the supreme-grade spirit stones and started playing with them. Ah, he's still a child. Alas, it seems that I have to train him well in the future. Otherwise, he might be cheated by someone and even have to count money for them. Seeing Cullen like this, a serious look appeared on Linley's face. He didn't want Cullen to always be so happy. Although he should have a happy childhood when he was young, this was something that could only be achieved when he was powerful enough. Seeing Cullen like this, Lin Ray didn't disturb him. Instead, he sat there alone and started cultivating. Soon, Lin Ray sat there, and it was already night. Master, master, hurry up. I've roasted some fruit for you. You've been sitting here all day. Go eat something. At this moment, Linley, who had been quietly immersed in the selfless realm, was awakened from his trance by Cullen's voice. Phew, hee Cullen. Do you know that Master had just entered a very difficult cultivation realm? He hadn't cultivated for long before he was summoned back by you. Alas, as Linley spoke to Cullen, a look of regret appeared on his face. When he thought about how he had just entered the Anatar state, he felt a surge of excitement. The Anatar realm was the most difficult state for a cultivator to enter. Once a cultivator entered it, their future would be limitless. This was Lin Ray's second time entering it. The first time was when he was undergoing his tribulation and was reminded by the little dragon. And Master, I am sorry. I didn't know that you. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen knew that he had messed up. Haha, it's fine. You can't force this. It's not like you can't enter it again in the future. Don't take it to heart. Upon seeing Cullen's self-reproach, Lin Ray quickly changed the topic to the roasted fruit. Yes, but Cullen, didn't you ask me to eat your roasted fruit? Over there. Let Master see what Xiaowu's cooking is like. Oh, okay. I'll bring it to Master now. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen, who was in a state of self-reproach, happily went to bring the food that he had made for Lin Ray. On the other hand, Lin Ray smiled after he successfully created a topic of conversation. Shortly after, Cullen brought the food that he had roasted. Even though it wasn't very good, Lin Ray still finished everything. Burp! A loud sound came from Lin Ray's mouth. At the same time, Lin Ray placed his hand on his stomach and leaned against the book with a look of enjoyment. How is it, Master? Is the food that I roasted good? Seeing Lin Ray's satisfied expression, Cullen smiled and asked Lin Ray, Okay, let's stop messing around. Eating isn't very useful to me right now, so it's fine to eat once in a while. But you can't waste your cultivation time on cooking and eating. If you have time, it's better to cultivate and increase your strength as much as possible. After all, when you go out in the future, you'll have the strength to protect yourself. Oh, hearing Lin Ray's reprimand, Cullen calmed down. But at this time, Lin Ray was still as carefree as before and didn't understand the meaning behind Lin Ray's words. Okay, Master will ask you something. You have to answer truthfully. Is this matter very important to Master? After everything was settled, Linley began to ask Cullen about how to break through to the heaven level and how to become a heaven-level alchemist. Cullen, do you know if there are any heaven-rank alchemists in the elven race? Or do you know a way to break through to the heaven rank? Ah, heaven-rank alchemist? Hearing his master's words, Cullen looked at Lin Ray with a puzzled expression. Yes, a heaven-rank alchemist. And no, there has never been a heaven-rank alchemist in the elven race, let alone a way to break through to the heaven rank. Boom! At this moment, after hearing Cullen's answer, Lin Ray's mind went blank and he froze in place. Chapter 127. And no, ha ha! Lin Ray came back to his senses and his eyes were filled with madness. In an instant, the martial Emperor Divine spear appeared in his hand. Suddenly, a murderous aura filled the surroundings. The temperature gradually dropped. Although it was night, the temperature here was no different from the temperature during the day. However, Lin Ray's surroundings were as cold as ice. Swish, swish, swish. Everything that felt Lin Ray's murderous aura, whether it was flowers, grass, trees, or spirit herbs, all withered in an instant. It was extremely strange. Ow, why? Why is there no way? Why? It shouldn't be like this. Suddenly, Lin Ray's spear seemed to come alive in his hand. It was incomparably agile as it danced in Lin Ray's hand. Flames, afterimages of spiritual energy, and martial skills were used by Lin Ray. Suddenly, it was dazzling and dazzling, making Cullen envious. Boom, boom, boom. Lin Ray's cultivation was gradually rising, and his movements were getting louder and louder. After sensing Lin Ray's cultivation, all the birds and beasts in the forest wanted to run to the depths of the Black Forest. Even the spirit herbs that had already become spirits were uprooted from the ground. Of course, the intelligent ones naturally didn't know this. In the depths of the Black Forest, in a place with excellent scenery, a group of people like Cullen walked out of the mountain. They raised their heads and looked in the direction of the loud noise with dignified expressions. What's going on? Why is there such a loud noise? At this time, a very beautiful woman with a crystal staff in her hand walked toward the group step by step with a dignified expression. Reporting to Patriarch, we don't know. As for the loud noise, it seems to be from the entrance of the Black Forest. One of the men below, who was slightly older but could still be considered strong, recounted everything that had happened after he heard that the Patriarch had appeared. Oh, the entrance of the Black Forest? Hearing this, the woman showed a dignified expression, but in the next moment, she became anxious. Cullens, have any of you seen Cullen? Suddenly, the woman seemed to have gone crazy. She asked the people below, but those people shook their heads one by one, as if to say, we didn't see anything. Chief, I know. Cullen said he was going to the entrance of the Black Forest to see if there were any delicious fruits, but he hasn't returned yet. Just when everyone was about to turn their heads, a delicate and pretty young girl walked out and said to the Patriarch, who was holding a crystal staff in his hand, What? You said Cullen went to the entrance of the Black Forest? Hearing the little girl's words, the woman who was addressed as the clan leader hurriedly walked in the direction of the Black Forest. As for the others, after seeing that the woman had left, they also followed her. The group of people quickly traveled through the dark night. Their bodies were light and graceful. Even though it was nighttime, their clothes were not stained by a single leaf. Boom, boom, boom. The sound was very loud. At this moment, Lin Ray was obviously no longer as imposing as before. Slowly, the martial Emperor Divine spear in his hand stopped moving. He stood there in a daze and looked up at the sky. Tears couldn't help but flow out of his eyes. Red Lotus, I really want to save you, but now it seems that everything is just wishful thinking. Master, what are you doing? I haven't finished speaking yet. Although we elves don't have a heaven-grade alchemist, we are famous for being array masters. We are born with extremely high mental strength and talent in arrays. Although I don't know what kind of alchemist you are, since you all have the words heaven-grade, I think the two shouldn't be too far apart, right? If you know the way to break through to the heaven-grade array master, then it's not impossible to comprehend the way to become a heaven-grade alchemist. Haha, but the spear technique you practiced just now was really cool. I don't know if it's possible. No, you. Why are you taking such a big breath about such an important matter? Linley had already been in despair, but upon hearing Cullen's words, Linley felt as though he had just been a clown. Thinking back to what he had just done, Linley couldn't help but laugh helplessly. Ah, no, Master, the spear technique you used just now is really cool. I want to learn it too. Master, can you teach it to me? When Cullen heard that Lin Ray wasn't going to teach him the spear technique, he immediately went to Lin Ray's side and sat on the ground, hugging Lin Ray's leg and acting coquettishly. You, ha. Seeing Cullen's actions, Linley chuckled. All of the unpleasant things that had happened just now, thanks to his disciples' antics, were instantly forgotten. I really don't know what to do with you. Okay, I'll teach you. Get up quickly. If others see this, they'll think I'm bullying you. Oh, really? Master? After hearing Lin Ray's agreement, Cullen, who was sitting on the ground, quickly jumped up and pulled him to an open space. Master, hurry up and call me. I want to learn it now. Ugh. You really do whatever you want to do. Lin Ray knew that if he didn't teach him now, he would probably be pestering him in the future. Lin Ray had no choice but to obediently teach Cullen the spear technique he used just now. Karen, in a moment, open up your sea of consciousness. Master will impart the spear art's form and technique to you. Master's comprehension of this spear art over the years will be transferred to your sea of consciousness. This way, you can cultivate according to Master's comprehension. But don't rely too much on Master's comprehension. You can comprehend your own way of using Master's comprehension. That way, you'll be able to use it smoothly. Hearing his Master's words, Cullen obediently opened up his sea of consciousness and quietly stood in place, waiting for Lin Ray to impart the technique. Okay, watch carefully. This is the spear technique I just practiced, Silent Thunder Spear Technique. After saying that, Lin Ray's left middle finger tapped on Cullen's forehead. Immediately, the spear technique Lin Ray had just practiced, and some words appeared on Cullen's forehead. Immediately, Lin Ray was wild with joy, and an excited smile appeared on his face. Soon, after the spear technique was imparted, Lin Ray directly took out the Huiyun spear from his storage ring. It was a top-grade treasure weapon he had obtained from killing people. He threw it in front of Cullen. Take it. At this time, you should have a weapon that belongs to you. Since you use a spear like Master can't be stingy, right? Wow, thank you, Master. After seeing the Huiyun spear, Cullen's eyes could no longer see anything else. Cullen took the Huiyun spear from Lin Ray and quickly made the Huiyun spear recognize him as its master in the same way as before. Shwa shwa shwa. Cullen held the Huiyun spear and practiced the spear technique Lin Ray had just taught him. Although he was not as agile as Lin Ray, it was still okay. With Lin Ray's elixirs, Cullen quickly practiced the spear technique over and over again. Lin Ray stood aside and watched his disciple practice the Silent Thunder Spear technique so quickly. For a moment, Lin Ray, who was standing aside, walked over with the martial emperor godly spear in his hand. Come, Cullen. Today, Master will be your whetstone for a while. I will help you polish this Silent Thunder Spear technique and let you understand what the real Silent Thunder is. After saying that, Lin Ray did not give Cullen the chance to regret. In an instant, the two spears clashed. Lin Ray also suppressed his cultivation, so the speed of the two was the same. However, in the end, it was Lin Ray who had the upper hand. No, Master, let me win. No matter what, you are still my master. How can you bully me like this? When Cullen saw that he was suppressed by Lin Ray, he instantly panicked and hurriedly begged for mercy to Lin Ray. Humph. Today, I will teach you the first lesson. Humph. Today, I'm going to teach you your first lesson. That is, when facing an enemy who is stronger than you, never say no early and never admit defeat. Even if the opponent is your master, you have to use all your strength to defeat him. Remember, on a real battlefield, no one will show you any sympathy. The outside world is not as beautiful as you think. The weak are prey to the strong, and only the fittest survive. This is the most important sentence that I'm going to teach you in my first lesson. Yes, Cullen's bloodline seemed to have been stimulated. After hearing Lin Ray's words, he roared at Lin Ray. At the same time, his eyes were filled with ruthlessness. The Huiyun spear, which had already slowed down, once again attacked Lin Ray crazily. Ha! As expected of my disciple, Lin Ray. Good. This is the only way you can protect the people you want to protect. This is the only way you can have the capital to survive in the profound sky continent. As long as you have enough strength, you can bring your elf race back to the eyes of the people of the profound sky continent. With every word Lin Ray said, Cullen's attack power would increase. Under Lin Ray's incessant stimulation, Cullen's attack power doubled. With a boom, a wave of energy rippled from Cullen's body, and his attack power increased by several times. At the same time, the patriarch with the crystal staff led his people to the side when Lin Ray started to provoke Cullen. When the patriarch saw his son holding a spear and fighting against a stranger, his eyes were filled with surprise and relief. At the same time, tears flowed down his cheeks. Is this still the young master who only knows how to fool around and not do proper work? When did he become so strong? At this moment, All of Cullen's people revealed expressions of surprise and disbelief when they saw his appearance. It was as though they had never seen something like this before. Chapter 128. Haha, not bad. You're really not bad, Cullen. Cullen, your current achievements are great. Even your senior brothers and senior sisters can't compare to you. Do you know that? By now, the battle was nearing its end. Linley had said what he wanted to say, and he couldn't hide the excitement on his face. It's all thanks to Master. If it weren't for Master's warning just now, I would still be that weak and ignorant Cullen. Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen looked at Lin Ray with grateful eyes. In an instant, he couldn't express his feelings for Lin Ray. Haha. All right, let's not talk about other things. Just based on the way you want to protect your family, you are already very similar to me. However, protection is protection. You can't be bound by your family. In the future, there's still many important things waiting for you to do. But upon hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen wanted to defend himself, but was choked by Lin Ray's words. No buts. Only when you're strong enough will you have the ability to protect your family. If you're held back by your loved ones, how are you going to protect them? Perhaps you can't even protect yourself, not to mention your family. Cullen said, and stood on the spot in silence. The Hoyin spear in his hand paused in midair. His eyes were dazed. Sigh, do you know that the outside world isn't like the place you're living in now? This place is like a paradise, while the outside world is a dog-eat-dog world. Even the people closest to you may be swearing undying vows of love to you, but they might stab you in the back at the next moment. That's why you must have a resolute heart. I know that you can't accept what I'm telling you now, but this is something that a cultivator must experience. Upon seeing Cullen's dazed eyes, Lin Ray told him about some of his spiritual herbs, hoping that he would wake up soon. For a long time, Linley continued to accompany Cullen in this spot, waiting for Cullen to come to his senses. The heavens didn't disappoint those who waited. After standing here for an entire day, from morning until now, Cullen finally came to his senses. The confusion in his eyes disappeared. Master, I understand. I won't do it again in the future. In the future, I will definitely become an expert, strong enough to protect my family. I won't be pushed aside by anyone, and I won't be hunted by anyone. I want to be so strong that they won't dare to look directly at me. This sentence that didn't fit Cullen's age completely shocked Lin Ray, the Elf Queen, and the people that the Elf Queen brought along. The happiest person was none other than Linley. Right now, Linley was truly overjoyed. He was overjoyed that he had taken in such a good disciple. This disciple was handsome, had a good life, and had a personality that was very similar to his own. All right, if you want to become a powerhouse, you can't avoid mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Therefore, from now on, you must seize every minute, every moment, and every second to cultivate. When you are strong enough, you will recall your current efforts and realize that everything you have done is worth it. At this moment, Linley seemed to have turned into a lecturing professor. He was talking nonstop to his students about the necessary conditions to become a powerhouse. Yes, Master. I'll do my best to reach that level. But before that, can I go back? I've been out for a long time. I'm afraid that my mother will be worried. Lin Ray, who had just finished speaking, should have been very happy when he heard the first half of Cullen's sentence. However, when he heard the second half, Lin Ray felt that his words had been spoken to the air. They didn't reach Cullen's ears at all. So I forget it. In the end, you're only a 10-year-old child. My expectations were too extravagant. Lin Ray sighed when he saw Cullen's appearance. He shook his head and sighed at Cullen's age. All right, aren't you looking for your mother? Then hurry up and go. They've been here for a long time, but they didn't come when they saw us fighting. With that, Lin Ray pointed to a dense forest in the north with a hint of killing intent in his eyes. Really? Cullen hurriedly ran in the direction Lin Ray pointed in after hearing Lin Ray's words. At this moment, the Elf Queen knew that her group had been discovered, so there was no need for her to hide any longer. She led her people out of the dense forest. Ah, Mother, it's really you. Cullen, who was jogging, sped up when he saw his mother walking out of the dense forest. Haha, Cullen, slow down. Don't fall. The elf queen couldn't help but run 2 steps forward when she saw her son running toward her. Plop! Cullen came to the elven queen's side and tutored her. His voice was filled with longing. Mother, why are you here? You still have the nerve to say that. Last night, there was a huge explosion here, but I couldn't see you at that time. Only after hearing from Huir did I know that you came to this place. Tell me, how can I not come? The elf queen was a little angry when she heard her son's question. Well, I know it's my fault, but there's really no point in staying here. Besides, I'm already sick of the food inside, so I came out to find something delicious. But, seeing that his mother was angry, Cullen hurriedly acted coquettishly and changed the topic to his master. Mother, do you know? If I didn't come out, how could I have such a great master? Look at my clothes and Huiyun's spear. They were all given to me by Master. Besides, Master taught me cool martial arts for a day. Do you want me to show you? Cullen quickly got down from the elf queen's body and displayed the artifact that Lin Ray had given him. Then, he pulled out the Huiyun's spear from the ground and prepared to show it to her. All right, you're the most dishonest. When I came here yesterday, I saw you and your master fighting, so I didn't go out to disturb you. Besides, I've already seen the martial arts you used. It's very good. Also, your cultivation shouldn't be weak. Seeing her son become so successful after a night of not seeing him, which mother wouldn't want to see her son become outstanding? Yes, my master is very powerful. He's much more powerful than me. Also, I feel like Master still has a lot to teach me. For a moment, Cullen kept saying Master, which made the elf queen a little unhappy. Oh, since that's the case, why don't you hurry up and take Mother to greet your master? Otherwise, it would seem that our elf race doesn't know etiquette. Oh, I'll take you to see my master. My master is not only very powerful, but also very handsome. After getting the elf queen's permission, Cullen hurriedly pulled her to where Lin Ray was. The group of elf residents naturally followed the elf queen to Lin Ray. Soon, Cullen brought the elf race to Lin Ray's side. After seeing Lin Ray, Cullen hurriedly came to Lin Ray's side and said mischievously, Master, this is the heaven rank array master I told you about. At the same time, she's also the current head of the elf race and the mother of your disciple, Milo Cardle. At the mention of his mother, Cullen's face was filled with pride and arrogance. You're the elf race's heaven rank array master? Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray took it seriously. After all, she was the only one who knew how to become a heaven rank pill master. That's right. Why? Did you come here for me? Seeing Lin Ray's extreme reaction, Cargill knew what Lin Ray's purpose for coming here was. That's right. I came here to ask you how to break through to the heaven rank. I've been trying for a long time. I've already reached the peak of the earth rank in the past year, but no matter what I did, I couldn't break through to the heaven rank. I don't understand, so the only thing I care about is finding a heaven rank pill master. Oh, I didn't expect you to have already reached this stage at such a young age. Heroes are really rare. That's true. When he found out that his son's master was an alchemist who was about to break through to the heaven stage and had such a high battle prowess, Carter's eyes were filled with astonishment as he looked at Lindley. Haha, you're joking. But what I want to know the most right now is how to break through to the heaven rank. I'm very anxious. If I can't break through in a few months, I'm afraid my lover might not wake up and die forever. Speaking up to this point, Lindley's eyes were filled with pain as he stared at Cargill. So that's how it is. But I'm very sorry. Our ancestors have decreed that we can't teach our elven race magic to break through to the spirit force. So, I'm very sorry. Although you're my son's master, I'm very sorry. Boom! Lindley's mind was completely blank. He really didn't know what to do. If he hadn't accepted Cullen as his disciple, it would have been fine. But now it was too late. Mother, you can't be like this. Look, I can already cultivate. Moreover, Master promised me that he would definitely make me stronger in the future. At that time, I'll have the ability to protect our elven race and let our elven race reappear in the eyes of the world. Isn't this the hope passed down from generation to generation? At this moment, Carger fell silent after hearing his son's words. Chapter 129. Mother, I'm begging you. Please help my master. Cullen knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Cargill. Lin Ray, who was standing by the side in a daze, was grateful to Cullen when he saw his disciple pleading for him. Patriarch, why don't you tell this young master the method to break through? Since he can guarantee that the young master will become stronger, our elf race will be able to reappear in the world, and we won't have to hide here anymore. At this moment, the elves who were still unrestrained also knelt down and begged Cargill after seeing Cargill. Cargill was struggling in her heart. On one hand, her son's clansmen were kneeling in front of her to plead for a stranger, although she really wanted to agree. On the other hand, she couldn't disobey the orders of the previous clan leader. For a moment, all sorts of feelings welled up in her heart. Mother Isai, forget it. It's not like I can't tell you how to break through, but you have to promise me that Cullen can become a powerhouse. You have to promise the elf clan that one day you have to let the elf clan return to the profound sky continent. If you can't do it, the elf clan will kill you even if it means risking the lives of our entire clan. Upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray returned to his senses, and the gratitude in his eyes was self-evident. Okay, as long as you can help me break through to the heaven stage, I guarantee that your elf race will return to the profound sky continent. But Cullen, even if you don't say it, I will nurture him with all my heart, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I'm relieved to hear that. But before that, you have to teach our elf race the cultivation technique and let our elf race return to the peak of the ancient era. Hearing Cargill's words, Linley didn't even hesitate to agree. Laughing, he said, "All right, I agree. In a while, I'll give the training technique to Cargill, and he'll transmit it to you." As he spoke, Linley retrieved a technique manual from his interspatial ring that could allow one to train up to the Mahayana stage, handing it to the kneeling Cullen. "Yes, master." When Cullen saw the cultivation method handed to him by his master, he excitedly took the cultivation method and nodded to the kneeling clansmen behind him. "All right, get up." Seeing Lin Ray agree so readily, Carger felt much more relieved. He then hurriedly had Karun and his clansmen, who were kneeling on the ground to plead for Lin Ray, stand up. "All right, since this matter has been resolved, let's go back. There are still many children in the clan. It would be bad if something happened to them." After seeing that everything was clear, they prepared to go to the place where the elves lived, but Lin Ray stopped them. "Patriarch, let me take you away. That will be faster. Besides, aren't you worried about the children in the clan?" "Amen. Since that's the case, then all right." After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill thought for a long time before finally agreeing. "All right, everyone gather here." Upon hearing Linley's words, everyone gathered together, surrounding Linley in the center and forming an encirclement. "All right, close your eyes. When you open your eyes again, we'll be there." Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, everyone closed their eyes. On the other hand, Lin Ray released his cultivation in the lower stage of the calamity stage and enveloped everyone with his spiritual energy. Then, he teleported to the place that Karun pointed out. "All right, we're here." When they arrived at the elven encampment, Linley woke up all the people who had their eyes closed. "What? We're here?" Some of the elves exclaimed in disbelief. But after taking a closer look, they realized that they had indeed returned to their home. "Ah, Master, what kind of ability is this? I want to learn it. Can you teach me?" At this moment, after witnessing this scene, Curran approached Lin Ray and wanted Lin Ray to teach him the teleportation spell. This isn't a spell, but can be considered spell. It's just that this kind of spell can't be taught. When you reach a certain realm, you'll understand. At that time, you'll automatically have this kind of skill. Lin Ray didn't want to reveal his cultivation in advance, so he didn't explain too much. "Oh." Hearing Linley's reply, a look of disappointment appeared on Cullen's face. "Sigh, I'm sorry. It's all my fault for spoiling my son." At this moment, Cargill, who stood at the side and witnessed this scene, apologized to Lin Ray in shame. "Oh, it's fine, it's fine. That's why I took Karun in as my disciple. I believe that he will definitely become a powerful figure in the future. But right now, he's still inexperienced, so it's understandable." Hearing Cargill's words, Linley hurriedly explained Cullen's true potential, while at the same time, a look of anticipation appeared on his face. Haha, I'll leave it to you then. It's nothing. After that, Cargill brought Lin Ray to the residences of the elves and visited every house. The elves were curious to see Lin Ray, a human whom they hadn't seen for 100 years. Every time Lin Ray visited a house, it would be packed full of people, and they would only give up when they couldn't fit anymore. Haha, Karun, the people you wrote about are so passionate. I didn't expect you to be living so comfortably here. After seeing the residences of the elves, Lin Ray also yearned for it. But he knew that this was an extravagant wish for him. Master, it's not like that. Of course not, Master. I've read in the notes left behind by my ancestors that there are many strange places in the outside world. I'm really looking forward to the outside world. I just don't know what kind of climate we'll be able to go out. Hearing his master's words, Curran quickly told Lin Ray about what he saw in the notes left behind by the elves' ancestors. His eyes were filled with the desire to go out. Haha, there will be a chance. Once the matters here are settled, I'll bring you back to my sect. At that time, you can have whatever you want. Karun smiled at Lin Ray's words and then brought Lin Ray to Cargill's room. Master, I'll take my leave first. My mother said that she'll tell you the breakthrough technique in a while. After bringing Lin Ray to his mother's room, Karun bowed to Lin Ray and Cargill before leaving. Fellow Taoist Lin, haven't you always wanted a technique to break through to the heaven rank? It's just that I can't give it to you right now. You can only experience it yourself. I'm powerless. When only Cargill and Linley were left in a room, Cargill was the first to break the silence. What? Lin Ray thought that he had misheard and asked again. Patriarch, you said you want me to experience it myself? I came here to ask you to teach me the method to break through. If I had a method to break through, why would I come here? That's right, but it's not what you think. Seeing Lin Ray so excited, Cargill promptly added, I can't give it to you because I don't know how to break through to the heaven rank. But our ancestral land can. If you have no problem, I can send you to our elven race's ancestral land. At that time, you can comprehend it yourself. At that time, I used that method to successfully break through to the heaven rank. Oh, your ancestral land? Hearing Cargill's words, a trace of embarrassment appeared on his face. But in order to break through to the heaven rank, Lin Ray didn't have time to think about that. That's right, our ancestral land. There are some spirit strands left behind by our ancestors there. When the time comes, you can casually come across one and ask them for guidance. Hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray happily smiled, thinking about how he would be able to break through to the heaven rank and become a living red lotus. Lin Ray felt a burst of excitement. Then let's start. Lin Ray simply couldn't wait. Thinking about how there were still 6 months until Red Lotus death, Lin Ray became even more anxious. Okay, close your eyes in a bit. Our elven race has a rule, so I'm sorry. It's fine, you can start. Lin Ray didn't mind Cargill's words. After all, he was going to enter their ancestral land. Spirit differentiation, spirit strand array, activate. After Cargill chanted an incantation, a ray of light fell on Lin Ray's body. In the next moment, Lin Ray disappeared along with the ray of light. Sigh, I hope you won't be ostracized by your ancestors. If that's the case, even I, the Elven Patriarch, won't meet you. Seeing Lin Ray disappear, Cargill, who was sitting on the spot, revealed a trace of regret in his eyes. Feeling that his face was now on solid ground, Linley slowly opened his eyes. What he saw was a picturesque scenery, filled with the fragrance of flowers. Not only that, but there was also a person sitting by the river, fishing with a fishing rod. He seemed to be having a good time. Could this be the elven race's ancestral land? Looking at this scene, Lin Ray was suspicious of Cargill's words. However, at this moment, Lin Ray was even more suspicious of the old man who was sitting by the river fishing. Step by step, Linley slowly drew closer to the old fisherman. He gave him a warning look and asked him to be prepared for battle. Grandpa, may I know where this place is, and how can I reach the elven race's ancestral land? Grandpa, When can I reach the elven race's ancestral land? I really have something urgent. After seeing that the old fisherman didn't respond to Lin Ray's first question, Lin Ray asked out of place. Haha, forget it. If you don't want to tell me, I'll slowly find it myself. Seeing that the old fisherman didn't respond, Lin Ray turned around and prepared to head to other places. But when Lin Ray took his first step, he couldn't move at all. Chapter 130. What's going on? This sudden development caught Linley somewhat unprepared. He hurriedly used his divine sense to scan the surrounding area, but after doing so, he didn't discover anything. No, with my cultivation base of crossing tribulation, how can I be trapped in this place? Even a master of the Deshang realm can't do it. Moreover, this is the place leading to the ancestral land of the elves. How can there be such a powerful cultivator? Thinking of this key, Lin Ray couldn't help but turn around and look at the old man fishing. For a time, Lin Ray didn't want to admit that the person who trapped him was this old man, but there was no one else here. This, senior, I don't know if I have offended you. Please forgive me. I really have something to do, so it is inconvenient for me to stay here for a long time. I asked senior to remove the spell on me. After a long time, the old man was still the same as before, as if he had never heard Lin Ray speak. He didn't make sound. There was no other way. He didn't speak, and he couldn't move. So Lin Ray could only stand in place and wait for the old man to be willing to let him go. Time passed quickly. In this place where there was no day and night, Lin Ray didn't know how much time had passed, but Lin Ray knew that he was not idle during this time. The old man was still fishing as usual, but he didn't catch a fish. Lin Ray was cultivating his spiritual force, hoping to break through to the heaven-level alchemist realm as soon as possible. What the hell is going on? Why can't I break free from this spell? Lin Ray would try to break free from this spell every once in a while, but he still failed as usual. One day, when Lin Ray was closing his eyes, he found that there was some invisible spiritual force wrapped around his body. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray's face showed an excited expression. Ha, I know, so that's how it is. I was wondering why I couldn't break free from this spell. It turns out that this is not a spell at all. This is just a kind of transcendental spiritual force. Realizing this, Lin Ray began to use his spiritual force to feel the spiritual force wrapped around his body. Soon, Lin Ray found the mystery from it. Break for me. A roar came out from Lin Ray's mouth. Suddenly, Lin Ray's body changed. His body that was originally fixed began to wake up slowly. First, it was his hands, then his feet, and in the end, Lin Ray's whole body directly recovered. I didn't expect that this is the ancestral land of the elves. What I didn't expect is that there's so much spiritual force here. After seeing the spiritual force of the elves' ancestral land, Lin Ray began to be careful. If he was not careful, he would end up like before. At this moment, Lin Ray did not want to be fixed again. Senior, since you are not willing to speak, this junior will take his leave first. After Lin Ray broke free, he hurriedly bowed to the old man fishing in front of him and walked deeper. But at this moment, the old man who had been silent in the fishing world woke up. Young man, you are indeed a man above others. In just a few short months, you were able to break through this barrier. This old man really admires you from the bottom of his heart. Suddenly, Lin Ray, who was walking deeper in, heard the voice of the fisherman behind him. In an instant, Lin Ray's body was fixed in place like before. However, the difference was that Lin Ray was stunned in place and looked at the old man with a trace of disbelief. What, senior, are you saying that it has been a few months? Lin Ray heard bad news that he did not want to hear and did not recover for a moment. Look, you just said that you could become a dragon among dragons. How did you end up like this in just a few months? Don't you know that time is just a useless number for us cultivators? Although it is impossible for cultivators to live forever, even if you can't live forever, for someone of your age to be able to cultivate to the next stage of the tribulation, that is enough for you to have lived for tens of thousands of years. The old man sitting by the river saw Lin Ray's big reaction and explained some things about cultivators to Lin Ray with a puzzled expression. Ha, tens of thousands of years, so what if I live for tens of thousands of years? If I don't have someone I love, what's the point? The reason I was able to cultivate to this level was to be able to save my lover who let go of the attack for me. Red Lotus, who originally had 6 months to live, was delayed by me for a few months. It seems that fate really makes fools of people. At this moment, Lin Ray's face showed a self-deprecating expression when he heard the old man's words. His tone was full of pain, unwillingness to accept his fate. Haha, I didn't expect you to be such a sentimental person. However, you didn't ask me how many months have passed. What is there to regret? As long as it is not a specific time, everything will still have a chance. What? Lin Ray, whose heart was dead, showed a puzzled expression when he heard the old man's words. He looked at the old man and asked, "You mean I still have a chance to save my lover?" "That's right. It has only been 2 months since you came in. There is no need to be so pessimistic. However, I am very curious. Why would a human cultivator like you appear in the ancestral land of the elves?" Lin Ray scratched his head in embarrassment when he heard the old man's words. He smiled and said, "Although I am a human, in order to save my lover, I came to the Black Forest to find a way to break through to the heaven stage. Later on, by chance, I accepted the son of the elven queen, Karun, as my disciple. Later on, due to various reasons, Karun allowed me to come to the ancestral land of the elves. Speaking of which, I really had no choice." At this point, Lin Ray's face showed a guilty expression, but there was no trace of regret in his eyes. I see. The old man showed a melancholy expression after hearing Lin Ray's story. "Young friend, I wonder how the elves are doing now. How many of them still have cultivation?" The old man looked at Linley with a desolate look in his eyes. His body was trembling uncontrollably. Seeing this, Linley didn't understand. "AI, those with cultivation are gone, but they're gone now. I've taken Cullen as my disciple, and he's very talented. Add to that Cullen's psychic power, and his cultivation will advance by leaps and bounds. It won't be long before he reaches a level that others can never reach in their lifetime." After Lin Ray answered the old man's question, Lin Ray told him about the elf situation. When he talked about his disciple, Lin Ray showed a trace of gratification. "They're gone?" Hearing Lin Ray's words, the old man's eyes seemed to have lost their color and darkened. His body also revealed an aura of death, and he seemed to have aged a lot in an instant. "Yes, but I promised Karun that after I save my lover, I will let the elves return to the eyes of the people of the profound sky continent. I also left them a lot of cultivation methods and resources. With their mental strength and aptitude, I believe that it won't be long before they become the nightmare of everyone in the profound sky continent." Really? When Lin Ray said that the elves would return to the world and that they would return to the peak, the old man's eyes, which were like dead ashes, regained their color. "Yes, I have already asked Karun to give them the cultivation methods." Then thank you. Thank you for giving the elves the cultivation methods. Thank you for helping the elves to return to the world." Plop! The old man knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing while muttering Lin Ray's words. Oh, right, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Katarama, the ancestor of the elves. The reason why I am doing this is because I represent the elves to express our sincere gratitude to you." "What?" When Lin Ray saw the old man kneeling on the ground and was about to help him up, Lin Ray was petrified by the old man's words. After a long time, Lin Ray came back to his senses and asked the ancestor of the elves, You're the ancestor of the elves. Then you have a way to become a heaven-rank alchemist?" Plop! At this point, Lin Ray knelt on the ground and begged the old man, "Senior, please teach me the way to become a heaven-rank alchemist. Please teach me. Please don't do this. Just based on the fact that you brought the elves back to the world, I will teach you the way to become a heaven-rank alchemist, no matter what. However, I have one more thing to ask of you." Seeing Lin Ray kneeling, Katarama stepped forward and helped him up. I want you to be the patriarch of the elves and lead the elves to a higher plane. Let the elves return to their roots. I wonder if fellow Taoists can agree to this. Hearing Katarama's words, Lin Ray was stunned. What did he mean by go to a higher plane? What did he mean by returning to their roots? Could it be that the elves weren't originally a part of the profound sky continent? No, Senior, I don't quite understand what you mean. Could it be that you and your race aren't originally from the profound sky continent? After hearing Katarama's next words, Lin Ray was completely stunned. He didn't dare to believe that the elves were a race from a higher plane. That's right. How could the elves be a race from such a low plane? Back then, I was an elf living in the immortal world. My father was the patriarch of the elves at that time, but I was very mischievous at that time. In one of my adventures, I accidentally triggered some mechanism and came here. At that time, there were many people with me who were brought here by my recklessness. However, they were very loyal. Because I was the son of the patriarch, after coming here, they made me the patriarch of the elves and settled here. There were several times when we wanted to rush out of this low plane, but in the end, we discovered that this low plane was actually a sealed planet. From then on, I and the people I brought here lived in peace and continued our descendants. However, the people I brought couldn't withstand the ravages of time and left me one by one. As for me, I could only hide in this starting ground and live on while at death's door. As he spoke, tears flowed out of Katarama's eyes. His eyes were filled with regret. He lamented as he looked towards the depths of the starting ground and bowed deeply. Chapter 131. All right, Junior will naturally comply with Senior's request. Just based on the fact that you told me how to break through to the heaven stage, I will help you. Moreover, Karen is my disciple, so I will help the elven race even more. After hearing Katalama's words, Linley made up his mind to bring the elven race back to their rightful place. This wasn't only for the sake of his breakthrough, but also for Cullen's sake. Good. Karen being able to worship you as his master is his fortune, the elven race's fortune, and even more so my elven race's fortune. I will remember your evaluation. Haha, Senior is too serious. Lin Ray looked at Katalama's appearance. His heart was very anxious, but he couldn't reveal it. All right, since it's like this, then let's start. But before that, I have to say that I'm not sure if my method will work. But I'm sure that as long as your spiritual force reaches the heaven stage, then breaking through to the alchemist realm will be much easier. As long as I can open your Niwan Palace, then everything will be fine. All right, then many thanks, Senior. Hearing Katalama's words, Lin Ray's heart was filled with joy. Thinking that he would be able to save Hong Lian, Lin Ray couldn't help but become excited. All right, don't be too happy yet. My method is a risky one because I'm not sure if I can help you break through. I don't even know how to break through to become a heaven stage alchemist. However, I will pass my mental energy to you. As long as your mental energy is full and your Niwan Palace is opened, I believe that at that time, you'll get what you want and successfully break through to become a heaven stage alchemist. What? Hearing Katarama's words, Linley's first reaction was not to worry about whether or not he would be able to break through to become a heaven-grade alchemist. Instead, he was worried about Katarama's dangers. Then, Senior, if you pass your spiritual force to me, will your body? It doesn't matter. I've lived long enough. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have been able to meet my old brothers so quickly. Now, I'm about to reunite with them. When Katarama heard Lin Ray's words, he didn't mind and smiled. Then he looked at the depths of the ancestral land alone. His face revealed a longing expression as tears flowed down from his eyes. Senior, seeing Katarama's appearance, Lin Ray's heart ached and he almost cried. Fortunately, Lin Ray controlled himself well. It's nothing. Even if you don't come, I won't be able to live for long. I'm just a body condensed from spiritual energy, so please grant me my wish. As long as you can bring the elves back to where they belong, my death will be worth it. But Lin Ray wanted to say something, but he was stopped by Katarama. All right, don't be so long-winded. The teleportation will take a long time. If you don't wish for your lover to die, then continue to be long-winded. Lin Ray, who was hesitating, heard Katarama's words and his gaze became firm. That's right. All right, let's begin. When Lin Ray wasn't paying attention, Katarama arrived before Lin Ray and placed his hands on Lin Ray's chest. In an instant, a dazzling radiance emanated from Katarama's body. Arg! A pain cry escaped from Linley's mouth. His face was contorted in a way that was completely different from his handsome face from before. Focus and don't be distracted. After all, I'm the one who passed on the spiritual energy to you. Therefore, during the teleportation process, it is inevitable that you will feel some pain. You will be fine as long as you get through it. Upon sensing Lin Ray's trembling body, Katarama knew that it was his fault for not allowing him to think. Infinite illusory, illusionary in all directions. Spiritual space, open. In an instant, a passage of incantation entered Lin Ray's ears. In an instant, Lin Ray began to comprehend it. Hang in there. You must find the Mud Pill Palace. As long as you can open it, you will be able to break through to the heaven stage. You must hang in there. Katarama reminded Lin Ray once again after seeing his expression. While Lin Ray was breaking through to the next stage, Elder Xiong from the Kunlun Sect finally found Lin Ray's hiding place. Soon, he led a group of disciples to the dark forest. Elder Xiong, this black forest used to be a natural formation. Furthermore, we just discovered that within this natural formation, there are over 1,000 formations of different sizes. It's truly difficult to break through such a huge formation. Even if the sect master were to come personally, he might not be able to break through. At this moment, outside the dark forest, a disciple reported to Elder Xiong after investigating the situation outside the dark forest. What? Elder Xiong was shocked when he heard the disciple's report. How is that possible? There are more than 1,000 formations under this natural formation. Not to mention how difficult it is. Even a heaven stage formation master wouldn't be able to do it. That's right. I just took a look. It's not just a heaven stage formation master. Conservatively speaking, these formations should be set up by a king stage formation master. Impossible. In the Tianxian continent, there is no one who can break through the heaven stage to reach the king stage. Elder Xiong immediately rejected his guess when he heard his subordinate's report. This was because he didn't believe that there was anyone in the Tianxian continent who could break through to the king stage formation master. Elder, these formations are indeed set up by a formation master who is at least at the king level. While I was outside, I heard that there are elves living in the Black Forest. It wouldn't be strange if there is a formation master above the king level. After all, the elves are born with spiritual power. Breaking through to the king level is not a big deal. Oh, the elves? When Elder Xiong heard his disciple mention the elves, shock appeared on his face. There was also a trace of disbelief in his tone. That's right. It said that the elves have existed since ancient times. It said that this race suddenly appeared at that time. No one knows what happened, but later on, the people of the Tianxian continent hunted the elves, causing the elves to hide in the dark forest. I didn't expect the Tianxian continent to give me so many surprises. After learning about the elves' existence, there was an obvious greed in the disciples' eyes that couldn't be easily seen. Quickly gather all the formation masters in the Tianxian continent. We must break this formation as soon as possible. There are important people in here that the sect master wants. You don't need to know anything else. All right, go do it as soon as possible. With that, Elder Xiong didn't give the disciple in front of him any chance to speak. He then turned around and walked back into the room behind him. Sai, what a tough life. Seeing that Elder Xiong had left, the disciple sighed and revealed a helpless expression. After grumbling, the disciple turned around and led the others to make arrangements according to Elder Xiong's instructions. When the other elves in the depths of the dark forest noticed this, they immediately panicked. At this moment, in the open space in the depths of the dark forest, Catter was standing there and looking at the crowd with a worried expression. All right, don't panic about this. There are thousands of formations set up by our ancestors outside the dark forest. There's even a natural formation, so there's no need to panic. Even if all the formation masters in the Tianxian continent were to break it together, it would still take a few months. Therefore, during this period of time, everyone must follow Master Karun's instructions and cultivate well. Don't waste any time. After comforting the crowd, Karun walked back to his room. However, when he left, the solemn expression on his face fell into the eyes of the crowd. All right, don't think too much. We have to believe in the clan leader. Since the clan leader said that it's fine, then it's fine. Everyone go back. The elder of the elf tribe who stayed behind hurriedly dispersed the crowd and returned to their rooms to cultivate. Lin Rei, who was the cause of all this, was receiving the mental energy transmitted by Katarama. It was a crucial moment. This time I must break open the Mudball Palace. Lin Rei, who was quietly breaking through, didn't know that he and the elves had fallen into a tight encirclement. Dubhi governing meridian, open. With a boom sound, a bright light flashed from the area above Linley's navel. I finally broke through. After sensing that he had broken through, Linley was very happy. He jumped up excitedly. Katarama's body, which was transmitting his spiritual power to Linley, had already become so dim that Linley could see the scene behind him through his body. You. Seeing Katarama's appearance, Lin Rei quickly calmed down and looked at Katarama with a sad expression. It's fine. All right, you just broke through the Mudball Palace and haven't officially become a heaven alchemist yet. I will continue to transmit mental energy to you, but you have to properly feel the barrier of the heaven alchemist realm. If you think of it, remember to cut the Gordian knot. You must be quick. Seeing Lin Rei's appearance, Katarama revealed a relieved smile. He came to Lin Rei's side and began to transmit mental energy again. Seeing this, Lin Rei's eyes became moist. Although Lin Rei knew that all this was just a deal, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel sour in his heart. In the next 3 months, under Katarama's guidance, Lin Rei broke through to the heaven alchemist realm 2 days ago. However, Katarama didn't wake Lin Rei up. Instead, he transmitted the last of his mental energy to Lin Rei's body and left behind a final sentence. Linley, remember our agreement. You must bring the elven race back to the immortal realm. If my parents are still alive after we reach the immortal realm, you must tell them that if there's a next life, I want to be their son. Chapter 132. Sigh. If the heavens give me another chance, I will never go to that secret realm again, let alone touch that thing. I regret it so much. K-Trauma looked at the sky above the ancestral land and lamented. His eyes were full of regret. It could be seen that he really regretted his actions. However, everything could no longer be reversed. Slowly, Katarama's spirit force completely disappeared. Woo. In the instant that K-Trauma disappeared, one agonized cry after another rang out from the depths of Invincible. Their cries were the same as Katarama's, filled with regret and unwillingness. But there was nothing they could do. In the end, they followed K-Trauma and disappeared as well. Right now, the only person left within the ancestral grounds was Linley, sitting there by himself. Sigh. There's no such thing as regret in this world. However, I will help you fulfill your wishes. I will definitely bring the elves back to the immortal world. Rest in peace. It turned out that Linley had already woken up when Katarama disappeared. However, the reason why he didn't wake up was because he didn't want to see Katarama disappear and not be able to lend a helping hand. Therefore, when Katarama died, the only thing he could help them was to bring the elves to the immortal realm, find Katarama's parents, and reunite them. Phew. Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief and looked at the place where he had stayed for 5 months. Although he didn't take a close look, he missed this place. After all, this was where he broke through to the heaven rank. The most memorable thing was that someone had sacrificed herself to help him. This kindness was something that he would never forget for the rest of his life. It's time to go back. 5 months have passed. I wonder if Cullen has been slacking off? Lin Rei's eyes revealed a worried expression. He wondered if Cullen's naughty little disciple had been cultivating properly during the 5 months that he was away. Time has changed. Yin and Yang have reversed. Let's go. Lin Ray recited the incantation that Cargill had taught him when he entered. In an instant, Lin Ray's body began to fade out of the ancestral land. When he reappeared, Lin Ray was already at the place where he came from. Phew, I'm finally back. Looking at the familiar room in front of him, Lin Ray knew that he had returned to the dark forest. Jia. At this moment, the door to the room opened, and a dignified child walked in. When he saw Linley, tears welled up in his eyes, and he ran into Linley's arms, sobbing as he said, "I'm sorry. Master, where have you been all these days? I couldn't find you. I asked Mother, but she wouldn't tell me. I thought you didn't want me." How could that be? I'm still waiting to see if your cultivation has improved. Logically speaking, with your cultivation speed, you should have already been consecrated or even fasted by now. After he saw that the person who had come in was the disciple he had been missing, he had been yearning for day and night. Master, you just came back and need a rest. I'll have Mother clean up a room for you. You can rest first." When Cullen heard Linley's words, his expression changed. He had just entered the room, but he couldn't sit still and wanted to leave. A strange expression appeared on his face as he spoke to Linley. "You brat, I knew that without my supervision, you wouldn't cultivate properly. Come, let me see what your cultivation is now. If I find out that your cultivation hasn't improved at all, humph." Swoosh. Hearing Linley's words, Cullen immediately used up all of his energy and his cultivation base, fleeing as fast as he could. Want to run? Why don't you think about your master's cultivation and yours? How dare you be so impudent in front of me? Come back here. Lin Ray wasn't in a hurry to stop Cullen. Instead, he waited until Cullen reached the door. Lin Ray waved his hand and sent out a stream of spirit energy. A large hand grabbed Cullen's body and pulled him back. "Don't move. If you move, I can't guarantee what I'll do." When Lin Ray threatened Cullen, who had originally wanted to escape, immediately calmed down. He sat down obediently and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Lin Ray released his divine sense and scanned Cullen's body. What he saw made him choke with anger. In the past few months, Cullen had only reached the peak of foundation establishment. Logically speaking, with Cullen's talent, it wouldn't be too much to say that he had reached the fasting realm. But now, you actually cough. In an instant, Lin Ray's expression changed. He didn't expect Cullen to not have cultivated for the past few months. He was so angry that he couldn't speak coherently. "Kid, let me tell you, even if your mother came today, she wouldn't be able to save you. See if I don't beat you until you know how to cultivate alone." As he spoke, Lin Ray used a hand of spirit energy to grab Cullen and put him on his leg. Then he slapped Cullen's butt. "Pah!" Lin Ray's hand passed through the artifact and into Cullen's butt. A loud slap sounded out. "No, master, don't hit me. I won't dare to do it again." Pa. Suddenly, the sound of Lin Ray's hand hitting Cullen's butt echoed in the room. Cullen wanted to die. At this time, his voice was hoarse from shouting. Now you know it hurts. Let me tell you, if you slack off again, I won't hit you like this." Really, master?" Cullen, who was lying on Lin Ray's leg, asked with a smile after hearing Lin Ray's words. "Yes, I won't hit you anymore. I will throw you directly into the Death Mountain Range and let you know what it means to be on the brink of life and death. I will let you know what it means to not cultivate properly. You won't be treated well there. Once you're there will be countless monsters to play with you." Lin Ray smiled and said to Cullen, who was lying on his leg. His tone was gentle, but Cullen could hear a trace of ruthlessness in his gentle tone, which made him shudder. No, don't do that, master. I will cultivate properly in the future and won't slack off anymore. Don't throw me into the Death Mountain Range, okay?" Cullen said to Lin Ray in his usual coquettish manner, but it obviously didn't work this time. I'm serious. Even if you cultivate properly, I will still do the same. Not only you, but I will also do the same to your 4 senior brothers and sisters. This is a test for the few of you when you leave the mountain in the future." At this point, Linley picked up Cullen, who was lying on his lap, and said earnestly, "Kid, you have to walk your own path in the future. Master can't always be by your side. Therefore, Master can only rest assured if you have great power. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't say anything else to Cullen. Instead, he stood up and went to his room. Lin Ray locked Cullen in his room to reflect on his mistakes. Fellow Taoist, aren't you going a bit too far? You're even younger than Cullen. If you do this, won't things backfire? Just as Lin Ray left the room, Cullen, who had been standing outside and eavesdropping, spoke to Lin Ray with a pained expression. So it's Cullen. After all, I have my reasons for doing this. Besides, what's wrong with being young? Aren't I still young? I was able to kill monster beasts in the mountain range when I was 14 years old. I'm almost 17 years old now. Look at my current achievements. They are all due to my hard work. When wasn't I on the verge of life and death? Look, aren't I still fine now? Lin Ray knew that doing this would make Cullen unhappy, but even if he was unhappy, he would still do it. After all, he was Cullen's master. What? You're saying that you're only 16 years old? Not even 17 years old yet? At that moment, Cullen seemed to have heard something unbelievable. His eyes widened and his face was filled with disbelief. Yes, I'm 16 years old. That's why I can't let Cullen live in a greenhouse. This isn't a good thing for him. For example, my other 4 disciples have all gone out to train. The sooner this happens, the better. That's why I hope that you won't interfere in this matter in the future. This is a form of respect for me and Cullen. Cullen didn't say anything else because even if he said more, it would be pointless if Cullen didn't agree. And no, I want to apologize for what happened before. I'm not worried about leaving Cullen to you. If Cullen doesn't listen to you in the future, teach him a lesson. Ugh, Cullen thought that Cullen wouldn't agree, but the result was unexpected. He didn't expect Cullen to inform him, and he seemed to be very happy. All right, since you, as his mother, have said so, I have nothing else to worry about. All right, since you've just returned, why don't I find a room for you to rest? Upon hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray immediately rejected. However, it wasn't that he wasn't tired. It was just that Red Lotus's death wasn't far away. That was why the most important thing right now was to refine pills for Red Lotus and help her survive. No, but I'm not tired. But can you find me an uninhabited cave? I don't want to be disturbed when I'm refining pills. So, all right. I happen to have an uninhabited cave here. Besides, there isn't anyone there, so it's just right for you to refine pills. Cullen led Lin Ray to the back mountain where the elf race resided. Soon, Lin Ray arrived at the cave. Lin Ray sensed an abundance of spiritual energy, and the surrounding environment was beautiful beyond compare. It would be great if Red Lotus could wake up here. Chapter 133. Not bad. This place is great. Thank you. If there's anything else, I'll go in first. Remember, don't let anyone enter this place. If I find out that someone is disturbing me while I'm refining pills, I don't care who they are. I'll deal with them using my own methods. Lin Ray's eyes glinted with a cold glint. Needless to say, Cargill knew that if anyone dared to barge in, they would have to pay with their lives. Yes, there's something. When you went to the ancestral land, some people came out of nowhere and invited a lot of array masters from the Tianxian continent after realizing that they couldn't enter. I thought that the 1,000 array masters set up by our ancestors would be fine. But a few days ago, those array masters removed most of the array masters. At this rate, perhaps in another month or two, the 1,000 array masters set up by our ancestors will be completely removed. When that happens, the elf race will be in danger. Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill quickly recounted what happened a few months ago. In an instant, the atmosphere turned heavy. What? There's actually such a thing? Upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray was taken aback. He was nervous because he was afraid that it was Zhao Pan who injured him back then. Then, do you know the name of their leader? Lin Ray asked Cargill with a solemn expression. Yes, I heard from them that he's called Elder Xiong. Judging from his cultivation, he seems to be in the mid-stage, but I don't know the details. But the people he brought are all in the conjoined body stage. Besides, there are also a few tribulation stage cultivators. Phew! Upon hearing Cargill's words, Lin Ray heaved a sigh of relief. The worries in his heart didn't appear. Haha, it's fine. You just need to hold on for a month. By then, I will let the elf race leave safely. Thank you so much. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill breathed a sigh of relief, and the grave expression on his face relaxed. All right, pay close attention to the situation in the dark forest periphery. Try your best to improve the elves in this 1 month. Also, keep an eye on Cullen and make sure he doesn't waste any more time. He still has 2 years. If he can't achieve the results I want in 2 years, then, yes, I'll deal with him as soon as I get back. Don't worry about Cullen. I'll personally deal with him when I get back. I won't dare to slack off in the slightest. Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, Cargill hurriedly promised Lin Ray. She didn't want Cullen to lose such a master. All right, you can go back. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't give Lin Ray any chance to speak and walked into the cave. Lin Ray was extremely excited when he thought that he would be able to see Hong Lian, who had been unconscious for a long time. Red Lotus, just you wait. I will revive you as soon as possible. When the time comes, I will bring you and the 9 Heavens Xuanzong Sect out of here. When the time comes, I will make you the happiest woman in the world. Lin Ray couldn't help but mutter to himself as he walked. He couldn't stop himself from laughing. Soon, Lin Ray arrived at the cave. After inspecting the structure of the cave, he found a spacious place and took out the 10,000 beast furnace. Then he took out the refining materials for the body-shaping pill. Everything is ready except for the east wind. Now, let me see what a heaven-grade medicinal pill is like. After saying that, Lin Ray's illusory spirit blood fire erupted. In an instant, the temperature of the cave gradually rose. In the end, the rocks in the cave seemed to have melted. Hong Lian, wait for me. Soon, we will be reunited. After saying that, Lin Ray's illusory spirit blood fire passed through the 10,000 beast furnace. After preheating the alchemy furnace, he started refining. First was the bone sculpting grass. Linley directly threw the bone sculpting grass into the alchemy furnace. In an instant, the incomparably precious bone sculpting grass turned into ashes. Seeing this scene, Linley's heart ached. This bone sculpting grass was exchanged for 1 million spirit stones. Although he did not lack spirit stones, who would worry about having too many spirit stones? This won't do. If this goes on, the 3 bones shaping grass will be lost in my hands. Without the bones shaping grass, what will happen to Hong Lian? At this moment, Lin Ray didn't have the same mood as before. At this moment, his heart was incomparably heavy. He originally thought that a heaven-grade alchemist would be the same as before. Refining pills would be a piece of cake for him. But now, it seemed that this wasn't the case. Alas, now I can only fumble around on my own. Thinking of the bone-shaping grass that was destroyed, Lin Ray's heart ached. Now that there were only 2 left, Lin Ray's heart was even more nervous. This won't do. Let's try again. What if it succeeds? Anyway, there's still one more. With the mentality of gambling, Linley began his journey again. However, the results were not optimistic. Just like before, the bone-molding grass turned into ashes the moment it entered the alchemy furnace and encountered the illusory spirit blood fire. Damn it! What the hell is going on? It's clearly written that this is how to refine it. How can it be? At this moment, Lin Ray couldn't understand. It was clearly refining according to the alchemy recipe, but why couldn't he refine it? Forget it. Anyway, there was still a month's time. Let's try the pills. Unable to come up with an answer, Linley decided to try using other pills. The result was Lin Ray began his alchemy journey again. However, this time, he didn't refine the body-shaping pill. Instead, he chose a heaven-grade pill called the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill. The Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill is a pill that can be used by Great Ascension Realm and Crossing Tribulation Realm cultivators. The ordinary Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill can only help Crossing Tribulation Realm cultivators, but the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill is different. It has no side effects and can be used indefinitely to increase a cultivator's strength. However, because the ingredients for the Tribulation-Surpassing Golden Pill are too expensive, ordinary sects can't afford it. heavenly spirit grass, heavenly water, magic cloud, mushroom. Lin Ray began to refine the tribulation-surpassing golden pill according to the recipe. However, everything was so smooth that there was nothing wrong with it. After a few hours, Lin Ray didn't find anything wrong at all. The pill is done. After 4 hours, the tribulation-surpassing golden pill was completed. Lin Ray had already prepared it in a pill bottle. Damn it! Are you trying to play me to death? You didn't let me refine the body-shaping pill, but you let me refine the tribulation-surpassing golden pill. Seeing that the tribulation-surpassing golden pill was successfully refined, Lin Ray sat on the ground with a gloomy face. He thought about the refining process of the body-shaping pill and wondered what went wrong. What exactly went wrong? Everything is clearly refined according to the recipe, but why can't I refine it? Lin Ray was very distressed. He didn't understand why. He began to wonder if there was a mistake in the recipe, or if it was his own fault. Bone-shaping grass, bone-shaping grass. This bone-shaping grass is just a young spirit grass. Why did I encounter? Suddenly, Lin Ray seemed to have thought of something. He hurried to the side of the pill furnace and began refining the body-shaping pill for the third time, which was also the last body-shaping grass. This time, I have to succeed, or else. At this point, Lin Ray didn't dare to continue. He directly summoned the illusory spirit blood fire, wrapped the bone-shaping grass and water spirit flower, and threw them into the furnace. But this time it was different. This time, the same phenomenon as before didn't occur. Ha. As expected, as expected. The bone-shaping grass can't be refined by itself. It must be combined with a young spirit grass in order to refine it. Seeing that the spiritual grass in the furnace was slowly being refined, Lin Li's heart was filled with excitement. Great, this is great. Although he was excited, Lin Ray didn't get carried away. He adjusted his state of mind and began to refine the other spirit grass. Condensing soul dew, heavenly white angelica. Slowly, Lin Ray's refinement was completed. Now, he began to refine the body-shaping pill. At the same time, this was also the most crucial step. If this step was not successful, then the body-shaping pill would be completely wasted. Heavenly sun fusion, yin and yang rotation, smelt. Boom! All the refined essences were thrown into the furnace by Lin Ray. In an instant, they were wrapped by the illusory spirit blood fire. Huff! Huff! Refining pills is really not an easy job. It's tiring and laborious. In the future, I'll just use the system's alchemy room to refine pills. At this time, Lin Ray truly experienced the hardships of refining pills. If it was before, Lin Ray would think that refining pills was just a game. But now, Lin Ray's attitude towards refining pills had completely changed. The process of refining pills lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. If it was before, it wouldn't take so long. Today, 3 days from now, a smile appeared on Lin Li's face. His face, which had been brimming with energy, instantly became weak. Huff, success depends on this. Come, pills are done, Lin Ray shouted loudly. It could be seen that Lin Ray used all the strength in his body. Bang! The lid of the treasured demonic beast cauldron was opened by Lin Li with all his might, and 3 glittering golden pills flew out from the cauldron. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The sound of breaking air was heard. They directly arrived in front of Lin Ray and stopped in midair. Finally, the refining is successful. I just don't know how effective it is. Looking at the pills in front of him, Lin Ray smiled with a tired face. Putting away the pills, Lin Ray came to a place where people could be placed. He directly moved Hong Lian out of the system space. Hong Lian, it's been 3 years. 3 years ago, you blocked a fatal attack for me. As a result, you were in a coma for 3 years. In these 3 years, I suffered every moment. Every time I thought about how you were injured because of me, I would feel extreme pain. Sometimes, I didn't even dare to look at you. I could only let the system keep you alive. Chapter 134. Looking at Red Lotus, who was lying on a rock, Lin Ray felt as if his heart was being twisted by a knife. Breathing became difficult, especially when he saw Red Lotus' half-dead state. Lin Rei felt as if the one lying there was him, and not Red Lotus. Looking at Red Lotus's pale face, Lin Rei's tears immediately gushed out. Red Lotus, just you wait. We will be reunited soon. Looking at Red Lotus, who was lying there, Lin Li didn't hesitate at all. He immediately fed Red Lotus a body sculpting pill. Instantly, as soon as the pill entered her mouth, it transformed into a stream of pure and powerful energy that cleansed Red Lotus' body. Lin Li could sense that Red Lotus life force was slowly returning to her. While Red Lotus was being cleansed by the body-shaping elixir, Lin Rei did not know that in the west of the central continent, there was an existence that could dominate the entire Tianxian continent. In the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire's royal family, a soul lamp that had been extinguished for hundreds of thousands of years suddenly lit up again at this moment. The old man who had been guarding this place was so shocked that he almost died. How? How could this be? Red Lotus Ancestor. Red Lotus Ancestor's soul lamp has lit up. Originally, guarding the ancestral hall was a very good job. All he had to do was to clean things here, and there was nothing important to do. The old man was very willing to do such a thing. But today, when he had nothing to do, he was sitting on a mattress and looking at the soul lamps of his ancestors who had died tens or hundreds of thousands of years ago. However, when the old man was bored, a soul lamp placed at the top of the ancestral hall that had been extinguished for tens or hundreds of thousands of years suddenly lit up again. No matter who saw this scene, they would have the same expression. Their eyes widened in disbelief. No, I must let the Emperor know about this. The revival of Red Lotus Ancestor is a miracle in the Red Lotus Empire, or even in the Tianxian continent. It is also a blessing for the Han clan. The old man didn't believe it at first, so he went to check the genealogy of the Han clan. He even looked at the soul lamp that was placed at the highest position. It was verified that the soul lamp had indeed disappeared over 100,000 years ago. It hadn't broken through the limits of Tendo, and had disappeared in the passage of time. Thinking of this, the old man was so excited that he couldn't help but release his peak-crossing calamity stage cultivation. He shouted to the sky, all the people of the Red Lotus Empire, including the Emperor and all the cultivators who came to the Red Lotus Empire for sightseeing, listen up. The founder of the Red Lotus Empire, Ancestor Red Lotus, has been revived. Those who tried to harm the Red Lotus Empire after Ancestor Red Lotus' death, just you wait. Just wait for my Red Lotus Empire's revenge. Boom, 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 boom. In an instant, as soon as the old man's words were heard, several people rushed out from several mountain ranges in the Red Lotus Empire and arrived at the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire. Even the Emperor of the Red Lotus Empire came here without any hesitation after hearing the news. How is this possible? Ancestor Red Lotus of the Red Lotus Empire has been dead for more than 100,000 years. How could she be revived? Even if she was revived, her body would have long rotted away. How is this possible? That's right. I'm afraid that someone in the Red Lotus Empire is joking. In an instant, after the news of Ancestor Red Lotus' resurrection spread, everyone began to discuss the matter of her death. They didn't believe that a person who had been dead for more than 100,000 years could be revived. However, even if some people didn't believe it, there were still some who believed it. After hearing that the Red Lotus Empress had been revived, all the troops stationed in the Red Lotus Empire rushed back to their own forces. There was no exception to the news, regardless of whether it was true or not. At this moment, in the ancestral hall of the Red Lotus Empire, it was the most spectacular scene in history. Ancestor, what's going on? When I was in seclusion, I suddenly heard that the Red Lotus Empire's Empress had been revived. Is this true? At this moment, a relatively young middle-aged man asked respectfully to an old man. How would I know? My situation is similar to yours. Don't panic. There will be more Ancestor coming later. When the time comes, you must be careful with your words. There are existences that are older than the Ancestor. As soon as he finished speaking, there was a sound of something breaking through the air. In an instant, they arrived at the ancestral hall. It was an old man with a kind face. However, the majesty of his body couldn't be underestimated. Red Collar, what's going on? Why did I hear that Ancestor Red Lotus had been revived when I was in seclusion? Is this true? The old man who arrived asked the old man who came before him. His tone was like that of an elder asking a descendant. Ancestor, I just found out about this matter. I don't know much about the same as you. However, there are usually people guarding the ancestral hall. Why don't we go in together and ask? After hearing the words of the old man who had just arrived, the old man called Red Collar hurriedly lowered his waist and said to the old man, Ziyu, quickly come and greet the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. He is the 5th generation emperor of the Red Lotus Empire. He is cultivated for more than 40,000 years and is already the oldest ancestor of the Red Lotus Empire. Red Collar hurriedly called the junior who had spoken to him before forward to greet the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. Oh, Junior Hong Ziyu greets the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. I am the 12th generation emperor of the Red Lotus Empire. After hearing Red Collar's words, Hongziu hurriedly bowed to the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. Her eyes were filled with respect and admiration. You are very good. You have already cultivated to the Mahayana realm. Not bad. Continue in the future. I hope that one day you can break through to an unexpected level. After saying that, Hong Tianling directly lifted her foot and walked into the ancestral hall. Seeing this scene, Red Collar brought Ziyu in and hurriedly followed behind Hong Tianling, not daring to leave for a moment. What's going on? Did you say that the Red Lotus Ancestor has been resurrected? You, a guard of the ancestral hall, don't know your limits. Saying such disgraceful words, you are really a descendant of the Hong family. At this moment, Hong Tianling had just walked in. After seeing the guard of the ancestral hall, she reprimanded him. I wonder who you are. The old man guarding the ancestral hall did not dare to be presumptuous when he saw the person who had come in to reprimand him. Instead, he asked respectfully, Are you blind? Can't you see that this is the 5th generation emperor of the Red Lotus Empire? At this moment, a young man wearing a dragon robe and a dragon crown came to Hong Tianling's side and said to the old man guarding the ancestral hall, Junior, the 16th generation emperor, Hong Yundao, greets the Heaven Spirit Ancestor. I didn't know that the Heaven Spirit Ancestor had arrived. It is a dereliction of duty as a descendant. Please forgive me, Ancestor. The emperor who had walked in hurriedly knelt on the ground to Hong Tianling and Red Collar and performed the etiquette that a junior should perform. Heaven Spirit Ancestor, I didn't know it was you. Please forgive me. Let's talk about this later. Han Yindao, get up first. I came here to ask about the resurrection of the Red Lotus Ancestor. Also, why did you announce to the outside world that the Red Lotus Empire would take revenge on those who harmed the Red Lotus Empire after the death of the Red Lotus Empress? Who gave you the strength to do so? Hong Tianling hurriedly asked all the questions in his heart. At this moment, everyone present broke out in cold sweat. It's me. I said it. Today, when I was wiping the soul lamp, which had been extinguished for hundreds of thousands of years, was reignited. After repeated verification, I confirmed that it was indeed Ancestor Red Lotus Soul Lamp. That's why I said that. Hearing Hong Tianling's words, the old man hurriedly told her everything he knew in full detail. What? You said that the soul lamp of the Red Lotus Ancestor was reignited? Whoosh! Without waiting for the reply of the old man guarding the ancestral hall, Hong Tianling flashed into the inner part of the ancestral hall where the soul lamps were placed. At a glance, he saw the brightly lit soul lamp placed at the highest point in the ancestral hall. At once, he knelt on the ground and cried, Red Lotus Ancestor, you really came back to life? You really came back to life? Ha ha! A burst of laughter came from the inner part of the ancestral hall. Immediately, everyone present knew what was going on. Everyone's eyes were blazing as they looked at the ancestral hall. They were very excited. Han Yindao, I order you to send out the Red Lotus Empire's Death Guards and Shadow Guards, as well as the 18 Divine Flame Soldiers guarding the mausoleum. Ask them to go out and search for the Red Lotus Ancestor. No matter who it is, if anyone dares to stop them, there's only one word: kill them until they find the Red Lotus ancestor. Hong Tianling, who was kneeling on the ground, finally said these words that were filled with murderous intent. At this moment, Hong Tianling seemed to have changed. She seemed to have a short lifespan, but suddenly she became energetic as if she was young again. Yes, Junior Hong Yundao, I will follow the orders of the Red Lotus ancestor. I will send out the most elite troops of the Red Lotus Empire to search for the Red Lotus ancestor. After hearing Hong Tianling's words, Hong Yundao immediately turned around and walked out. Hong Ling, Hong Xiu, and the old man guarding the ancestral hall were all kneeling on the ground and worshipping the Red Lotus Emperor's soul lamp silently. The Red Lotus Empire also took action quickly. According to Hong Tianling's orders, they sent out their elite troops to search for the resurrected Red Lotus ancestor. After some of the people guarding the Red Lotus Empire knew about this, they once again reported it to the Sect. In an instant, the Central Continent and other regions, no matter if it was the sects, families, or other empires, after receiving this news, they all sent out their men to search for the resurrected Red Lotus ancestor. They were very afraid. They did not want the Red Lotus ancestor to come back alive. If that was the case, they would be in trouble and the entire Tianxian continent would be reshuffled. Chapter 135. As for the instigator of all of this, Linley and Red Lotus, the one being sought, were currently within a cave in the back mountains of the Black Forest. Red Lotus, you will wake up soon. After seeing Red Lotus digesting the body-shaping pill, he went behind Red Lotus, placed his hand on Red Lotus' back, and began to transfer spiritual power into Red Lotus' body. As for Red Lotus, after eating the body-sculpting pill, her originally pale and bloodless face slowly regained its color. Her level of power also recovered, or perhaps even more. In addition, her power was slowly returning as well. Linley knew that this was the power that Red Lotus already had after being summoned by him. Red Lotus, you will be fine soon. I will wait for you here. His spiritual power was continuously transferred to Red Lotus' body, but Red Lotus was like a bottomless pit, devouring Lin Rei's spiritual power. Seeing this scene, Lin Rei was surprised. Even a cultivator in the lower stage of the Mahayana realm did not have as much spiritual power as him, but Red Lotus could absorb all of it. No, if this goes on, I'll be sucked dry. After feeling that the spiritual power in his body had disappeared, Red Lotus did not stop and continued to absorb. At this time, what was absorbing Lin Rei was not his spiritual power, but his blood essence. After feeling this scene, Lin Rei panicked. Blood essence was the life of a cultivator. If there was no blood essence, it meant that the cultivator would die. No, Red Lotus, you can't. But at this moment, Linley had been sucked dry by the Red Lotus. He didn't even have the strength to speak and finally fainted. The moment Linley fell, the Devour Heavenly Method activated. The spirit chi absorbed by the Devour Heavenly Method replenished the unconscious Linley. The Red Lotus gave up on the blood essence and began to absorb Linley's spirit chi again. Every time Lin Rei recovered his spiritual power, it would be absorbed by Red Lotus. In this way, Lin Rei's efforts were continuously provided to Red Lotus. After 3 days, Red Lotus finally stopped absorbing Lin Rei's spiritual power, but Lin Rei was still in a coma. Red Lotus, who was sitting in the same place, slowly opened her eyes. Looking at the unfamiliar scene in front of her, Red Lotus automatically released all of her cultivation. Suddenly, a power that surpassed the peak of the Mahayana realm was released. It instantly spread throughout the Black Forest. Even Elder Xiong, who was in the Black Forest, felt it. How is it possible? How can there be an Earth Immortal Realm cultivator here? Didn't they say that this sealed planet could not break through to the Earth Immortal Realm? At this time, Elder Xiong felt the inexplicable aura from the Black Forest and made a judgment. He was immediately shocked. No, this matter must be reported to Senior Brother Sect Master. An Earth Immortal Realm cultivator is not something that I can deal with now. Elder Xiong got up and flew quickly in the direction of Kunlun's sect. At this time, the elf race in the Black Forest also felt it. What's going on? Lin Rei can't have such a powerful cultivation. Is he sleeping? After sensing this aura, Cargill turned to look at Linley's cave. A look of surprise appeared on his face, and his eyes were filled with puzzlement. Red Lotus, who caused all of this, was also very surprised, or perhaps confused, because where was she at this time? What's going on? Didn't I die? Why did I come back to life? Is he my descendant? Red Lotus said as she stood up and looked at the layout of the cave. A trace of disdain flashed in her eyes. Why am I in a place like this? And who is this child? Red Lotus looked at the cave with disgust. However, when she saw Lin Rei, her eyes were filled with confusion and she muttered to herself. Haha, I don't feel any blood connection at all. This child is not my descendant. Red Lotus said as she walked out of the cave. Phew, I haven't felt such sunlight for a long time. It's great. I wonder how the Red Lotus Empire that I founded is doing now. At this moment, Red Lotus walked out and looked at the sun hanging in the sky. She suddenly felt melancholy. She thought of the Red Lotus Empire that she founded, and a trace of sadness appeared in her eyes. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 3 days passed very quickly. During these 3 days, Linley had already recovered to his original state thanks to the automatic activation of the true primal chaos mantra and the devouring heaven technique. Haha, little guy, wake up. At this moment, Red Lotus sat beside Lin Rei and transferred a stream of spiritual energy into Lin Rei's body. Instantly, Lin Rei, who was in a coma, woke up. Arg! Lin Rei let out a soft groan. Slowly, Lin Rei opened his eyes. Red Lotus, Red Lotus. When he woke up, the first thing he did was to look for Red Lotus. His eyes were filled with anxiety. Red, after getting up and seeing Red Lotus sitting beside him, Lin Rei heaved a sigh of relief. But when he looked into Red Lotus' eyes, Lin Rei realized that something was amiss. Little guy, is the name of the Emperor something that you can casually call out? Don't you know who I am? At this moment, Red Lotus, who was sitting beside Lin Rei, heard Lin Rei calling out her name. The smile on her face disappeared and was replaced by a condescending look. Her mouth was filled with anger. Ugh! Haha, Red Lotus, what's wrong with you? Don't you recognize me? I'm Lin Rei. I'm the Lin Rei that you risked your life to protect. At this moment, Lin Rei's heart was extremely uncomfortable. Although Lin Rei realized that something was amiss, Lin Rei was still unwilling to believe it. Little guy, there is a limit to a person's tolerance. I can accept it once or twice, but if you say it a third time, don't blame the Emperor for being rude to you. Red Lotus was infuriated to see this young man calling out her name for no reason. But the feeling of anger quickly disappeared. This phenomenon left Red Lotus puzzled for a moment. Red? Okay, Senior. Why are you here? Do you still remember? Hearing Red Lotus words, Lin Rei knew that Red Lotus memories of her previous life had completely awakened. And after sensing Red Lotus aura, he knew that he was no match for her. This great emperor doesn't know. However, when this great emperor woke up, this great emperor was already here. However, this great emperor is unable to recall anything. This great emperor only knows that this great emperor had already died. However, I do not know why this great emperor has suddenly revived. Speaking of this, Red Lotus' eyes revealed a pained expression. Lin Rei was heartbroken to see this scene, but he couldn't go forward to comfort her. I know that you used to be my follower. Later on, we fell in love and were chased by our enemies. Because the enemy was too strong, we couldn't win in the end. When we cursed and wanted to kill me, you rushed forward and were injured by the enemy. You were in a coma for 3 years. Today is exactly 3 years. But at the same time, there are conditions to save you. Conditions? What conditions? After hearing Lin Rei's words, Red Lotus felt a sour feeling in her heart. But after hearing Lin Rei's conditions, she couldn't help but ask. To save you, you must have the body-shaping pill. It's a kind of heaven-grade pill. At that time, I didn't know how to refine pills at all, let alone an alchemist. The second condition is to reach the nascent soul realm. Only when both conditions are met can I save you. In order to make up for my mistakes, I desperately increased my cultivation and alchemist level. Fortunately, after 3 years of continuous tempering and opportunity, I finally refined the body-shaping pill today and saved you. At this point, Linley's eyes dimmed, and a hint of sadness could be seen in them. What? Haha, you said that in 3 years, you grew from a person who didn't know anything to a cultivator in the lower stage of the tribulation stage, and even became a heaven-grade alchemist? Red Lotus showed a look of disbelief. Her eyes were filled with surprise. Haha, but the person who told me how to save you said that if I saved you, you might regain your memories and cultivation base, but you wouldn't forget about me. But why? Why is it like this? You're awake, but with my Red Lotus, where did he go? As he spoke, Linley began to roar at Red Lotus in agitation. His eyes were filled with sorrow, and his face was filled with pain and savagery. It was a sight that would terrify anyone who saw it. Nonsense. I'm the dignified founder of the Red Lotus Empire. How could I become your follower? What's more, it's impossible for you to grow to this extent in 3 years, let alone cultivation. Even if it's possible, it's impossible for you to become a heaven-grade alchemist. After hearing Lin Ray's words, Red Lotus was very moved. But she still didn't believe Lin Ray's words. After all, she was already dead at that time. Haha, Red Lotus, I know you've recovered your memories, but I still want to fight for it. Back then, you were hurt because of me. That's enough. How could the Emperor like an ant like you? Not to mention that you're in the lower stage of the Tribulation Transcendent stage. So what if you're in the peak of the Mahayana stage? You'll definitely be defeated by me. So, don't talk about love with the Emperor because you're not worthy at all. Red Lotus interrupted Lin Ray's next words and broke Lin Ray's fantasy. She said to Lin Ray in a mocking tone, Ha ha, ha ha ha, but I don't regret it. Since you're no longer the Red Lotus I know, then let's not meet again. You saved me when you lost your memories, and I wasted 3 years to bring you back to life. But I still owe you. I promise you one thing. When I leave, I'll come back and take you away from this sealed planet. After saying that, Lin Ray stood up and walked out like a walking corpse. His eyes were filled with sorrow, and tears flowed down uncontrollably. Chapter 136. Little Dragon, what you said back then was indeed a lie. However, this is also good. If you don't remember me, then so be it. Now that things have come to this, there is nothing left to worry about. Lin Ray muttered to himself as he walked out of the cave. His eyes were empty and lifeless. Looking up at the sky, Lin Ray felt as if he had lost something in his heart. In the cold night wind, Lin Ray stood in the cold in his thin clothes, allowing the cold wind to blow against him. His silver-white hair was very dazzling. Why am I so sad? At this moment, seeing Lin Ray walking out as if he had lost his soul, Red Lotus' heart clenched tightly. She had never experienced such a feeling before. Could it be that I have really lost my memory and something happened between me and this child? After feeling this, Red Lotus recalled what Lin Ray had said before. For a moment, she was puzzled. However, no matter how she thought about it, she still could not remember what had happened. In the end, she simply chose to forget about it. Just as Red Lotus and Linley were at a loss, Elder Xiong, who had left, returned with a person in tow. This person had a dignified aura about him, causing others to feel a sense of pressure. Junior brother, is this the place where you said there was an earth immortal realm cultivator? At this moment, the person who was brought back by Elder Xiong looked at the black forest in front of him with eyes full of disbelief. Senior brother Sect leader, there is absolutely no mistake. At that time, the aura was very strong. Even you did not have such an aura. Moreover, I could feel that it was an aura that had just awakened. However, what I don't understand is how someone could break through to the Earth immortal realm on this sealed planet. This does not make sense. The sect leader that Elder Xiong referred to as Zhao Pan of the Kunlun sect, and also Lin Rei's greatest enemy. Well, this is also what I'm puzzled about. When the revered one sent us here, he didn't have the ability to let us out. He also observed that on this planet, at most, one could cultivate to the peak of the Mahayana realm. It was impossible to break through until the end of one's life. Therefore, after hearing your report, I was also very surprised. That's right. Soon, all of these formations will be broken. Then, we'll be able to unravel all the secrets. Elder Xiong looked at the progress of the array formation and turned to Zhao Pan. I hope so. I hope it's not an enemy. Otherwise, hearing his junior brother's words, Zhao Pan's expression turned solemn as he stared at the Black Forest. Now, it was not just Lin Rei and Zhao Pan. Once the news of the resurrection of Red Lotus Empress and the Red Lotus Empire spread, all the cultivators in the Tianxin continent were mobilized to search for the revived Red Lotus. The world was in chaos, and the people were in dire straits. Some cultivators had even attacked mortals in order to find Red Lotus. As for the culprit behind all of this, Red Lotus, when she thought of the conditions Linley had agreed to, she was stunned. Bring me out of this sealed planet? Could it be? At this thought, Red Lotus couldn't remain calm anymore. Her originally cold expression turned blazing. She gazed at Lin Rei, who was at the entrance of the cave, and arrived at Lin Rei's side in a single step. She grabbed Lin Rei's arm and said excitedly, You can really bring me out of this planet? You're not lying to me? At that moment, Red Lotus was like a young lady who wanted to get an answer. The eager gaze in her eyes made one have the urge to go up and confide in her. That's right. This is what I promised you, and it's also what I owe you. This is the final compensation. I don't want to say anything else. If you don't want to, I'll use other methods to compensate you. Cultivation methods, pills, formations, martial skills, whatever you want, I'll give you. However, after this matter, we'll completely break up and we won't have any more interactions in the future. Looking at Red Lotus, who was grabbing his arm, Lin Rei said everything he wanted to say. Then he slapped Red Lotus' hand away, turned around, and walked toward the elven tribe. Red Lotus, who was in a daze, was in disbelief. Can we really leave? Red Lotus was very excited. When she was alive, she had fantasized many times about being able to leave this planet that restricted her, but until her death, she couldn't do it. She didn't expect to be promised by a teenager that he would bring her out of this planet before he left. How big a piece of news was this? After leaving, Lin Rei adjusted his state of mind and returned to the elven tribe. Because he wanted to save Red Lotus, he didn't pass on Katarama's order. Master, you're finally out of seclusion. I've been cultivating very hard these days. Look, I'm already in the next phase of the consecration. As soon as Lin Rei returned to the elven tribe, he heard Cullen's cheers. Gradually, Cullen appeared and hung on Lin Rei's body, showing off. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Rei let go of all the happy things and quickly released his divine sense to check Cullen's cultivation. When he saw Cullen's cultivation, Lin Rei revealed a gratified smile. That's right. Only when you're strong can you have the right to be arrogant and conceited. That's why cultivation is very important. If you can continue to cultivate like this, Master can promise you one thing. Anything, including killing people. Linley had been smiling, but when he spoke of killing people, his smile disappeared. In its place was a cold and emotionless look. SSS. After seeing this side of his master, Cullen sucked in a breath and shrunk his neck, revealing a frightened expression. What's wrong? Scared already? I haven't let you see me killing people yet, so from now on, you have to start training to kill people. Otherwise, you won't be so timid and afraid when you kill people in the future. Lin Rei smiled and told Cullen a few things he had to do to cultivate. Then he carried Cullen towards Cullen's room. Along the way, Lin Rei had Cullen tell him all the things he didn't know. Then he cleared Cullen's doubts and arrived in front of Cullen's room. Knock, knock, knock. Lin Rei knocked on Cullen's door a few times. Cullen's voice was heard, and it was very gentle. Come in. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray opened the door and carried Cullen into the room. Then he sat down. Cullen obediently jumped down from Lin Ray's body and intimately leaned against Cullen's chest. Fellow Taoist Lin Ray, I didn't expect that you would come out of seclusion today. If I had known earlier, I would have informed my elf race to welcome you. When Cullen saw that the person who came in was Lin Ray, he had a pleasantly surprised expression and said to Lin Ray, "It's nothing, I won't say anything else. Presumably, you also know that I have already become a heaven stage alchemist. But the reason I was able to break through this time was entirely due to Catalama's help. If it wasn't for him, I reckon that I wouldn't have made such great progress." Lin Ray told Cullen the key to his breakthrough. For a moment, Cullen's eyes were filled with sadness. What? You mean my elf race's ancestor, Catalama? Could it be that he's still alive? When Cullen heard the name Catalama, he immediately thought of the elf race's ancestor. For a moment, many questions came out of Cullen's mouth. You're really something. Why would I send you one out of so many questions? Seeing how excited Cargill was, Linley joked. I am sorry. It's just that after I heard the news about my ancestor, I asked in a moment of desperation. I hope that fellow Taoist doesn't mind and can answer my questions one by one. Okay. Hearing Cullen's words, Lin Ray told him about the elf race's ancestral land. I have indeed met your ancestor. Furthermore, the reason why I was able to break through this time was entirely due to your ancestor's contribution. However, in order for me to break through, your ancestor sacrificed himself for me. When Lin Ray said this, he recalled Catalama's last words before he disappeared. For a moment, a sorrowful expression appeared on his face. What? You're saying that ancestor Catalama, is already dead? Hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen revealed a sorrowful expression and asked, That's right, your ancestor did it for me. However, before he died, he told me a secret related to your elf race. He even made me promise that I would lead the elf race to complete it. What? Our ancestor made you lead us to complete the secret? What secret? Why didn't I know that our elf race had such a secret? After hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen, who was listening attentively, couldn't suppress his curiosity and interrupted Lin Ray's words. I heard from your ancestor, Catalama, that your ancestor didn't originally live in the profound sky continent. Instead, he came from the elf race in the immortal world. Besides, your ancestor Catalama was the eldest son of the elf race's patriarch in the immortal world, which is the same as Cullen. However, Catalama was a little too arrogant when he was young and accidentally triggered a mechanism in a secret trial. For some unknown reason, he was teleported here. Along with Catalama, there were many other elf race ancestors. Later on, due to the seal, I announced that their lifespan had reached its limit and they died. However, they didn't truly die as their mental strength was overly powerful, which was why they all live in the elf race's ancestral land. In the end, only your ancestor, Catalama, condensed his mental strength into a human body and met me in the end. After Lin Ray finished his words, the elf race fell into silence. When he turned to Cullen, Lin Ray was stunned. At that moment, Cullen knelt before Lin Ray. What are you doing? Get up. No matter what, you're still Cullen's mother. How could I possibly accept your kowtow? Lin Ray said and stepped forward to stop her. But as soon as Lin Ray's hand touched her, she stopped him. No, fellow Taoist Linley, don't try to dissuade me. Since it was my ancestor who allowed you to lead us, then you are the leader of our elven race. It is natural for us to kneel before you. Thus, please don't stop me. Seeing the resolute look on Cargill's face, Linley knew that even if he tried to stop her, she would still kneel. Linley hurriedly accepted Cargill's offer of the position of patriarch, and then Cargill stood up. All right, I accept the position of the elf race's patriarch. Now, I command you as the elf race's patriarch to get up. Yes. After hearing Lin Ray's command as the elf race's patriarch, Cullen stood up obediently and asked doubtfully, Patriarch, since our ancestor made you lead us, did he say what we should do? You're pretty smart. Hearing Cargill's words, Linley told Cargill about his promise to Cargill. I promised your ancestor that I would take you away from this sealed planet and then lead you to the immortal realm in search of your race and allow you to return to your ancestral home. Really? After hearing Lin Ray say that he would lead the elf race to the immortal world to acknowledge their ancestors, Cullen's face lit up with excitement and yearning. Yes, that's right. I promised your ancestor. Moreover, your ancestor sacrificed his life in exchange for this. Even if that wasn't the case, just the fact that Cullen is my disciple means that I would have done the same. Lin Ray looked at Cullen and Cullen, not knowing what to say. When Cullen heard this, an excited smile appeared on Cullen's face. At the same time, he felt proud that his son was able to recognize this master. All right, after the matters outside are settled, you will secretly head west to a city called Royal Pill City. Once there, you'll find a place called Nine Heavens Trading Company. Then, you'll tell the boss of the trading company your identity and pass on my message. After you are done, there will naturally be people who will arrange your accommodations. However, once you are there, you'll have to cultivate well. There are good resources, good medicinal pills, and even better cultivation methods and martial skills for you. I hope that when you leave this planet, each and every one of you will be able to reach the level I want you to reach. As for your makeup, when you leave, I will refine it and send it to you. As long as you eat it, no one will be able to recognize your identity, not even the most powerful cultivator on this planet. After hearing Lin Ray's arrangements, Cullen nodded obediently. However, Cullen wasn't willing. He had a bitter expression on his face as he lost in front of Lin Ray. It was as if he was saying that he wasn't happy. Master, if you leave, then what about me? Can I go with you? Chapter 137. No, I still have things to do. When you return to the profound sect with Carger, go and find your senior sisters and brothers. They know what to do. When the time comes, you just have to follow them. Lin Ray smiled helplessly. Originally, Lin Ray wanted to bring Cullen along, but when he thought of his promise to Ecliptic Sage, Lin Ray changed his original plan. Oh, hearing Lin Ray's words, Cullen showed a disappointed expression, but he still agreed to Lin Ray's arrangement. Don't be unhappy. When you reach the sect, there will be a group of people who will play with you. Moreover, when the time comes, your senior sister will teach you 2 different martial techniques and footwork. When the time comes, when you have mastered them, I will go back to see you. On the way, I will bring you some delicious food and fun things. What do you think? And okay, then master, don't go back on your words. Once I've mastered the martial skill that senior sister taught me, will you come back and bring me something? When Cullen heard Lin Ray's words, his unhappy expression instantly changed. When Lin Ray saw this scene, he was happy and a smile appeared on his face. Okay, let's not talk about this now. The enemy is still outside, so it's not time to mess around. In a while, you'll follow your mother and don't go anywhere. Then gather all the elves. When everything is calm, I will have people bring you to Royal Pill City. Lin Ray didn't say anything else and directly walked out of the door. On the way, Lin Ray's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He didn't want to see Red Lotus, but there was a need for more powerful cultivators outside. Therefore, even if he didn't want to, for the sake of the elven race, Lin Ray could only abandon the meeting and ask Red Lotus for help. Soon, Lin Ray arrived in front of the cave. When he was in the distance, Lin Ray saw Red Lotus standing at the entrance. She was wearing a red robe, and her hair was draped over her shoulders. Her eyes were hazy as she looked at the sky, as if she was thinking about something. Who? Suddenly, Red Lotus, who was looking up at the sky, sensed someone approaching. In an instant, she released her killing intent and pressure. With a boom, Lin Ray, who was originally walking, wanted to release his cultivation to block Hong Lian's pressure. However, Lin Ray did not expect Hong Lian's cultivation to be so strong. Her killing intent and pressure instantly shattered Lin Ray's defense, directly freezing him in place. With a pu sound, Lin Li spat out a mouthful of blood. In an instant, Lin Li, who had just recovered a little, felt the pressure of the Red Lotus pressing down on his body. Linley's aura began to wither. Do not be agitated. It's me. Lin Ray knew that this was a cultivator's vigilance. Lin Ray did not blame her. In order to avoid unnecessary misunderstandings, Lin Ray hurriedly saw her. Don't you know that you can easily die if you approach so quietly? If I hadn't only used a little of my strength, I'm afraid you would have died long ago. Seeing that the person who came was Lin Ray, Hong Lian said to Lin Ray. However, Hong Lian was now full of dignity. Her eyes carried a trace of disdain and contempt. Coupled with her condescending attitude, Lin Ray's last bit of hope was instantly extinguished. From then on, he no longer had any thoughts about Hong Lian. I know. However, I didn't come here to disturb you. I only came here because I want to make a deal with you. Listen to me first. If what I say is unable to move your heart, then pretend that I didn't say anything. Oh. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Hong Lian directly took back the pressure and murderous aura she released and asked Lin Ray, let's hear it. I want to see what you have to make a deal with me. I know that your current cultivation has surpassed the Deshang stage, but I don't feel that your cultivation method is very good. It is easy to make you lack in attack power. If you are willing to help me, then I will give you this cultivation method. Lin Ray knew before that since Hong Lian had recovered her previous memories, she had also forgotten the cultivation method that was given to Hong Lian before. Therefore, Lin Ray was sure that Hong Lian's cultivation method was not particularly good at this time. It was not even comparable to the cultivation method of the lowest disciple of the Xuanzong sect. Therefore, Lin Ray was so confident to make a deal with Hong Lian. Cultivation method. My cultivation method is a heaven-level cultivation method. It can be said that even the cultivation method of anyone in the Tianxian continent can't be compared with my cultivation method. I really don't understand where you get the confidence to make a deal with me. After hearing that Lin Ray was going to use cultivation methods to trade, she laughed instantly. Her face was full of ridicule as she looked at Lin Ray and said, heaven-level cultivation method? Take a look at this cultivation method first. If you don't think it is good, then I have nothing to say. Having said that, Lin Ray took out a cultivation method from the system. He directly used his spiritual power to form a palm and dragged the cultivation method to Hong Lian. What good cultivation method can you have? Hong Lian said and picked up the cultivation method in front of her. When she reached the first page, her eyes could no longer move away. Even her originally cold face showed an excited expression as she muttered to herself. Water Moon Transmutation Technique, Intermediate Emperor Level Cultivation Method. It can be cultivated to the immortal venerable realm. The most suitable physique for it is the ice skin jade bone physique. However, all cultivators with water attribute spiritual roots can cultivate it. This cultivation method has twice the attack power of ordinary cultivation methods. If it is cultivated to the Deshang stage, it can crush the core of a star with a palm and crack the earth with a stomp of its feet. These words completely attracted Red Lotus' attention. However, what was even more shocking was that this child who looked to be in his teens actually had such a powerful cultivation method. At this moment, Red Lotus began to treat this child seriously. How is it? I don't know if you like this cultivation technique. If you don't like it, then just take it that I've just arrived. As he spoke, a palm formed from spirit chi had already arrived in front of Red Lotus and grabbed the cultivation technique book of Water Moon Thought. Hey, don't. I agree to this deal. Tell me, what do you want me to do? You can give this cultivation method to me. While she was hesitantly looking at the cultivation method in her hand, a hand formed from spiritual energy suddenly took the book away. Immediately, Hong Lian hurriedly agreed to Lin Ray's request. Sure, but this is only for the Deshang stage. When I finish my business in Tianxian continent and leave, I will give you the rest of the cultivation method. Seeing that Hong Lian had agreed to his request, Lin Ray smiled and didn't say too much. After all, this matter was completely under Lin Ray's control. It's nothing much, Lin Ray said to Hong Lian casually. There's a group of flies at the entrance of the Black Forest. One of them is a Deshang stage cultivator. So, when we get out, we will deal with him. As for the others, you can deal with them if you want. If you don't want to, then leave them alive. I will kill them." Hearing Linley's words, Red Lotus immediately sent out her divine sense. As an Earth immortal, Red Lotus divine sense was naturally incomparably powerful. Instantly, Red Lotus divine sense charged out of the Black Forest. Everyone, everything, and even the spiritual energy of the world appeared in Red Lotus mind. Of course, this included Zhao Pan and the others. As expected, there are quite a few people. I really don't know how you managed to survive until now. To think that you would be chased by a Deshang stage cultivator. A few Deshang stage cultivators. I have to admire your courage. They can't be considered my enemies. They are just some greedy bastards. Lin Rei didn't deny that Hong Lian was talking about Zhao Pan and the others. Instead, he directly described them as bastards. All right, I don't care if they are enemies or bastards. As long as I kill them, you have to give me the cultivation method from before. However, you don't have to go out because they have already broken the formation at the entrance of the Black Forest. Bang! Just as Hong Lian finished speaking, a loud sound came from the direction of the entrance, echoing throughout the Black Forest. So fast. Seeing this scene, his expression changed greatly. He originally thought that it would take some time for the elves to prepare, but now, all right, I'll give you the cultivation method. Hurry and guard them at the entrance. Don't let them in. There are many children and old people inside. Lin Rei panicked and hurriedly threw the cultivation method in his hand to Hong Lian. Then, he turned and walked towards the elves' residence. This little guy really has a lot of secrets. I didn't expect the elves to acknowledge him. What an incredible little guy. After seeing Lin Rei disappear, Hong Lian looked at the cultivation method in her hand. Her eyes were filled with killing intent as she looked at the entrance. Then, her body began to fade and finally disappeared. As for Linley, after leaving the back mountain, he quickly arrived at Cullen's place. All of the elves were gathered there. Their faces were filled with fear and panic, but not a single one of them was screaming in fear. "Master, you're finally here." When Cullen saw Lin Rei's figure, he immediately threw himself into Lin Rei's embrace. His originally trembling body calmed down the moment he entered Lin Rei's embrace. It's fine. It'll be over soon." Seeing Cullen's appearance, Lin Rei patted his head in heartache. Then he went to the elves and loudly said, "Don't worry, it'll be over soon. Don't worry, it will be very, very soon. Quickly pack up your things and prepare to leave this place today. Carger will bring you to a better place. Remember, other than this place, don't go anywhere else, especially the entrance to the Black Forest. After everything is settled, I will come back to get you." After saying that, Lin Rei handed Cullen to Cargill and turned to fly towards the entrance of the Black Forest. Chapter 138. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the Black Forest, Zhao Pan's excitement turned into fear. Just as Zhao Pan was happily reporting to his subordinates that the formation around the perimeter of the Black Forest had been broken, a woman suddenly appeared out of nowhere in the skies. She didn't have the slightest bit of cultivation on her, and she was devastatingly beautiful. This was Red Lotus, who had promised Linley, "Get lost, you're not welcome here. If you don't leave, don't blame the Emperor for being rude." While Zhao Pan and the others were still in a daze, a powerful oppressive aura swept over, pressing down on them. Even Zhao Pan had no place to stand and was forced to kneel on the ground. "You?" Kneeling on the ground, Zhao Pan glared fiercely at the Red Lotus in the air. He gritted his teeth and said no more. Cold sweat dripped down Zhao Pan's face. What was even more frightening was that the cyan scripture on his head had burst out, making him look incomparably ferocious. Don't speak for the Emperor. You are not worthy. The Emperor only has one request, and that is to get lost from the Emperor. Don't you dare cause trouble for Lin Rei. If the Emperor finds out, it won't be so simple." Looking at Zhao Pan kneeling on the ground, Hong Lian revealed a look of disdain as she looked down at Zhao Pan condescendingly. Ha! Ha ha! Just as Red Lotus finished speaking, Zhao Pan, who was kneeling on the ground, looked up and laughed. What are you laughing at? Seeing Zhao Pan raise his head to the sky and laugh, Hong Lian was puzzled. I'm laughing at you. I'm laughing at your naivety. Don't think that you can suppress me just because you are an Earth immortal. Haha, you are too naive. With that, the kneeling Zhao Pan slowly stood up. What was even more incredible was that his cultivation, which had originally been at the peak of the Mahayana stage, was slowly rising. Red Lotus was shocked to see this. What? What is going on? She watched as Zhao Pan's aura rose from pinnacle Mahayana realm to lower Earth immortal realm, middle Earth immortal realm, and upper Earth immortal realm. At this point, his aura finally stopped. At the same time, Red Lotus also prepared for battle. Haha, this feels so good. Zhao Pan, who was at the upper stage of the Earth immortal realm, stood up and looked at the Red Lotus in the sky with hatred. You, who exactly are you? Why do you have such a cultivation level? It was impossible to see a peak Mahayana stage cultivator reach the upper Earth immortal stage in an instant unless that person had a very powerful secret art or used some forbidden treasure. You don't have to care who I am, and you don't have the right to care. What I want to know now is why you are here. And according to what I know, there is no one in the profound sky continent who can break through to the Dan Earth immortal realm. Your appearance makes me very puzzled, and even more surprised. Hearing Zhao Pan's words, Red Lotus's face darkened. She immediately released her cultivation. Suddenly, the clouds in the sky changed, and the ground was filled with sand and pebbles. The atmosphere was so tense that it was frightening. You don't have to care who the Emperor is. Emperor said the same thing. Get out of here. The Emperor has taken care of this place. If you know what's good for you, get out of here. You won't give up until all hope is gone. Since that's the case, let's fight. Seeing that Red Lotus was still speaking so impudently, Zhao Pan's anger was instantly ignited. A sword suddenly appeared in his hand, and he rushed towards Red Lotus with his upper Earth immortal realm cultivation. Red Lotus, on the other hand, was poor. She had nothing, not to mention any magic weapons or equipment. Seeing Zhao Pan rushing towards her with a magic weapon, she panicked. An Earth immortal without any magic weapon dares to act so arrogantly in front of me. You really don't know what's good for you. Watch my blazing sky. In an instant, a large amount of flames flew out from Zhao Pan's sword, turning into a flaming sword shadow that slashed towards Red Lotus. Black Frost Palm. Feeling the power of the sword shadow, Red Lotus did not fight back recklessly. Instead, she used her own martial skill to block it. However, she did not block it for long before she was pierced by the sword shadow. Although the sword shadow was blocked by the Black Ice Palm, and its power was reduced slightly, it was still very powerful. Seeing that the sword shadow was about to reach her, Red Lotus immediately dodged and narrowly avoided it. Huff, that was close. I almost got hit. At this moment, Red Lotus recalled the sword shadow and felt a lingering fear in her heart. Cold sweat flowed down her face uncontrollably. Weren't you very powerful just now? Why? You're not boasting anymore. Standing in the air, Zhao Pan sneered at Red Lotus, who was still in a state of lingering fear. Since that's the case, let's end this. After saying that, Zhao Pan raised a 3-foot-long frosty ray and rushed toward Hong Lian again. This time, Hong Lian could clearly sense the killing intent coming from Zhao Pan. Could it be that I'm really going to die here this time? Seeing Zhao Pan charging over, Red Lotus was not afraid. She only felt regret. Haha, that's it. Just as Red Lotus closed her eyes and prepared to accept death, a mocking laugh came from not far away. Not long after, Lin Rei appeared in front of Red Lotus. Why are you here? Can't you see that even Emperor Huang isn't a match for him? Hurry up and scram. Seeing that the person who had come was Lin Rei, who was only in the lower stages of his tribulation, Red Lotus was speechless. Catch. Hearing Red Lotus words, although on the surface she seemed to be cursing at Lin Li, in reality, She was protecting him. Linley laughed, and his heart felt warm. He pulled out a face, then tossed it towards Red Lotus. I'm not giving this sword to you. I'm only lending it to you temporarily. Once you're done with it, you have to return it to me. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Red Lotus unconsciously reached out to catch it. A sword appeared in her hand. What? What grade is this? She looked at the sword in her hand. It was completely purple and did not have a blade. The two words myriad laws were engraved on the sword's hilt. The words were ancient and carried a trace of pressure. What was even more unbelievable was that she did not recognize the words. Don't worry about the grade. Can't you see that Zhao Pan is almost in front of you? What are you still hesitating for? At this moment, Lin Ray did not have the time to waste words with Red Lotus. He was afraid that Red Lotus would be injured. Seeing Zhao Pan's attack, Lin Ray hurriedly reminded her. Oh. Hearing Lin Ray's reminder, Red Lotus did not waste words. She directly collided with Zhao Pan's 3-foot-long cold light. With a bang, Red Lotus, who now had a magic tool, was no longer someone who only knew how to dodge. After Red Lotus and Zhao Pan's weapons collided, a figure was sent flying. Do you still think that Emperor is a braggart? The one who was sent flying wasn't Red Lotus, as Elder Xiong had imagined. Instead, it was their sect master, Zhao Pan. Seeing this scene, everyone from the Kunlun sect was dumbfounded. They had never imagined that Zhao Pan, who was at the upper stage of the earthly immortal realm, would be defeated so easily. How can the face in your hand not stop? At this moment, Zhao Pan, who was lying on the ground 100 meters away, got up. He was not surprised by Red Lotus's strength, but by the sword in Red Lotus's hand. What's wrong? Isn't my sword beautiful? But I still feel that your sword is more special. Hearing Zhao Pan's baffling words, Red Lotus directly scolded back. She even revealed a mischievous smile. This time, Zhao Pan almost vomited blood. Impossible. That sword of yours can't possibly last forever. Impossible. Zhao Pan didn't bother arguing with Red Lotus, but he kept on asking questions like why. In the end, he shouted out loud, his eyes filled with disbelief. Seeing this, Red Lotus was momentarily confused. What are you talking about? What do you mean by not stopping? Are you going to fight or not? If not, take your people and scram. Red Lotus really did not understand why Zhao Pan kept on staring at the sword that Lin Ray gave her. You wanted to scram? I'm afraid you're not qualified. Suddenly, Zhao Pan seemed to have gained some fighting spirit. He rushed over, not caring that he was not staring at Red Lotus, but the sword in Red Lotus's hand. Since you're courting death, don't blame me. When Red Lotus saw Zhao Pan rushing over, she became serious and released all of her cultivation base. Suddenly, the two of them began to fight. For a moment, the two of them were inextricably entangled. Linley, who had been standing at the back, did not stay idle either. Linley moved, and the martial Emperor Divine spear appeared in his hand. Cold light flashed from the tip of the spear, causing people to have goosebumps all over their bodies. Especially when they saw Linley's emotionless eyes, it was even more terrifying. Kill! As soon as he shouted the word, he rushed towards the remaining Kunlun sect disciples. Elder Xiong of the Kunlun sect did not seem to care at all. He did not make a move at all. His eyes were fixed on Zhao Pan, who was fighting Red Lotus. Screams came from the back. Wherever the martial Emperor Divine spear in Lin Ray's hand passed, there would be rivers of blood. Moreover, everyone died horribly. Since you don't care about the lives of these disciples, don't blame me for starting a massacre. Seeing that Elder Xiong was indifferent, Lin Ray continued to kill with the martial Emperor Divine spear. Slowly, Lin Ray got used to this kind of killing. His speed began to increase. In the end, as long as they had not reached the great vehicle stage, they would be killed by Lin Ray in one move. Time passed quickly. 40 to 50 disciples were killed by Lin Ray without any chance to retaliate. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.